them know that we are the American Indians. Copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
We are not Africans. We are not African. Are you African? I'm not no African. Nigga, you a lying motherfucker.
Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far where I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So yeah, don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion, we probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering, I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even at my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself. ISO Dama. Woo! Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Yo, it's too many. Hey, it's too many. Yo, it's too many. Yo, it's too many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news. It ain't what you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switched side with no cruise, we just stayed out of the loop. Now we out here letting it loose, every shot we took it was swoosh. Gotta get it, ain't no excuse, ain't left to prove. Hey, yeah, hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies. Yo, it's too many, hey, it's too many, yo, it's too many.
Hey now, what's happening, y'all? Hey, let me give y'all some bomb drops, cause y'all Show so much love, man. I swear. What we got going on here? Y'all show so much love. I swear y'all do. Quoa, Original Skywalker, Phyllis Brown, John Davis, St. Louis, Quoa, man, Garrison. What's good, y'all? Can't touch this. Roz Blackwood, Rodney, the realist. What's going on? Straight smoke. Truly yours, whatever. Darius Matthews. What's good, y'all? Let me give y'all a bomb drop because y'all always show so much love, man. And I love vibing with y'all. I'm keeping it up. But hey, yep, yep. Police ain't arrived yet. No, they ain't here. Let me send them a little signal. Not a coincidence. YK. Hey, Sean, where y'all at? Y'all ain't on the block trying to run the block off. Hey, so, okay, so I want to get into it today, y'all, because I just think that this is a very serious thing, and it's huge. Starting your own government. Now, I'm keeping it a buck because we didn't go in like real grave detail about getting it established. Now I have Ali Muhammad's book and I'm halfway finished reading it. I didn't finish reading the whole thing, but it's a really good book. It is a really good book. But this starting your own government, or I mean, hands down, I'm not trying to. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this not refreshed? I'm not. I. I don't. We don't need to start a new country. That's no. Why? This is our country. This this is our continent. So it doesn't make sense, of course, because this is where our ancestors been from time immemorial. We were always here, and that's a fact. Um, Now starting all over again, picking up from when our ancestors left off. Hey, Lady Moon. Yes, that's a great idea, but it consists of a lot of work. And I just think it's so I just don't think it's fair because the government that's functioning now was our government. Whether people want to believe this or not, it was. It really was. Because we had the majority of the people in the beginning. I mean, you had the 13 little colonies. It's not a whole lot of people there. But when you start adding the 50 states, we were the majority. And that's a fact. It was ours. It was developed from ours. And we consolidated with them from what I see, based on truly what I see. But let's just talk about it. And I printed a random article that I wanted to read and go through. But before we go there and read that article, it was a very nice article. I want to say this. I still can't get, you know, I still can't get it out my mind. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would you bring millions and millions of Africans over here? They don't even like us. Let's keep it a buck. White people don't like us. And that's a fact. And that's clearly defined in history. Jim Crow, everything. So why would they? It doesn't make sense. This is why I have to really stand hard behind Dane, Chief Holiday, A1 for this part anyway. Add Power, Empress Obert. I have to because it doesn't make any sense. Why would colonizers, white colonizers, bring over loads and loads of Africans? I mean, could you imagine that? Now, there was already millions and millions and thousands of Indians already here on this entire continent. Why would you quadruple the amount of, of Africans than there is Indians that look like us already here? Why would they do that? Wouldn't that be a setup to like kill them all? I mean, your story says you snatched people and brought people out of Africa, right? And then you come over here and there's more people that look like them, being us, the Negro Indians, meaning black Indians, if you want to keep it a buck. Because negro, that's in Spanish. That means black. So you're going to go over to Africa and get brown Indians, all shades of Indians, right? And bring them over here with us, Indians. They wouldn't be alive today. They wouldn't even be on this continent for the amount of Africans that they said that they brought over here. That's why it's a fucking lie. It has to be. Why would a few white, when I say few, because when you're adding the amount of Africans that they supposedly brought over here, now that don't include us. And two things: you snatch Africans out from another continent, all these millions, right? And then you got the millions and millions of Indians over here, and you're taking over their land. That's double kill. You would be killed for taking them out their country, bringing them here against their will, and then the land you're taking away from the Indians. Who do you think these Africans are going to consolidate with? White guys or us? This is why it doesn't make any sense to me. The whole story and why we have to reevaluate history and keep studying. Okay. We have enough information to confirm that we're still here and we always been here. So that's, as it's always been on my mind. It's always going to be on my mind, and it's never going to go away because that's what the ancestors once instilled in my mind. And you can't make this shit up. Now, another thing with history. For hundreds of years, a couple of hundred, they have been trying to get Indians off this land. They've been trying to make Indians leave the land. Why? That's another reason why it don't make no sense for me. So you're going to get rid of all the Indians off their own goddamn land and bring in Africans that will eat you for dinner. Serious. Your ribs, your balls, everything. Everything gets fried up in the pot. And you're going to bring them over here to replace the Indians. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. Y'all smash the like button. So this is why I have a right to think like that. That's common sense. Okay. And the fact that when, hey, Choctaw, and the fact that if we walk in the grocery store, okay, it don't even matter if we're a male or female. Whatever race of people is that own businesses here on this continent, they're always like this when walking there. They're scared. Even if it's a little black granny, little Indian granny, they still looking like this. So imagine when our man's walking there like Big Willie or in the store and they just coming to get a couple of Dutches. So this is why I said it don't make no sense. They're gonna bring a bunch of people over here that they fucking scared of. And here in Connecticut, it's shit is funny as hell. They got fucking commercials. If you see something strange, call. If you see someone strange in your neighborhood, call the police. You know they talking about a nigga. The minute they see one of us, we could be somebody campaigning. It don't matter if it's for a Democrat, Republican, or independent. If they see one Negro walking down the street with a notepad, get ready to knock out somebody, do call the police. So if they're that fucking paranoid, why are they gonna bring a bunch of Africans over here who's just as crazy? This is why it don't make no sense. This is why we got to read history, and we have to stay away and from the thoughts of severely indoctrinated people like Jabari. He teaches this with pride. He teaches Jabari. He teaches African American studies with pride and dignity. I could see him as a professor in his class. I really can. Okay, to the Mumbubu people, and they're this. And he ain't neither one of them. It don't make no sense. I don't understand. So it just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's first read this quick article that this woman wrote a couple of years ago about creating the government. And then we're going to look at this African dude who's newly, admitted to the United Nations. But let's read their document. Let's get into it, y'all. Smash that like button, y'all. I'm going to read this little article. I hope it's big enough. I think what I got two things. Oh, I see why. All right, present, share. Here it is. Quick article. And this is how to start your own country. 4 easy steps, really. And this is by Joshua Keating. Sorry, I meant by a gentleman who wrote this. He was a former associate editor at Foreign Policy. And so they have it here. You've picked out a flag, written a national anthem, even printed money with your face on it. But what's the next step? Creating a new country isn't as easy as you think. Step 1, make sure you're eligible. As tempting as it might be to declare your cubicle a sovereign state, customary international law actually does specify minimum standards for statehood. Now, this is if you want to create a state, you call it a country or whatever you want. Like what? We'll get into it, y'all. Let's just keep going. I'm just going to keep reading. You must have a defined territory. You must have a permanent population. You must have a government. Your government must be capable of interacting with other states. This one is somewhat controversial. It was included as a qualification in the 1933 Montevideo Convention, which established the United States good neighbor policy of non-intervention in Latin America, but is generally not recognized as international law. Number 2, declare independence. That's what the United States did. Congratulations on joining the ranks of Transnistria, Somaliland, and a host of other countries that won't be marching at the Olympics anytime soon. Just because you've met the qualifications and declared yourself independent doesn't mean that you're going to be taken seriously. Even the Principality of Sealand, located on a 10,000 square foot platform in the North Sea, has tried with mixed success to claim sovereignty under these qualifications. However, now that your state is established, there are certain benefits you can expect, even if you're not recognized by anyone. Once an entity has established itself as a de facto state, it will benefit from territorial integrity and certain guarantees of sovereignty, said Stefan Tallman, a professor of public international law at Oxford University and author of Recognition in International Law. For instance, now that Kosovo is established as a state, Siberia can no longer freely attack it to bring it back into Siberia. It benefits from the prohibition of the use of force under the United Nations Charter. These rules were established during the Cold War to protect new states that were not yet recognized by one bloc or another. Step 3, get recognized. There's not much point in having your own country unless other countries acknowledge your existence. International recognition is what gives a country legitimacy in the international community and what ultimately distinguishes the New Zealands of the world from the Nagorno Karabakh. See, I can't even speak African stuff. Naturally, though, the established countries are going to take some convincing. Recognition is quite complicated because it combines international law and international politics, Talman said. Some people say recognition is purely political act. It is the discretion of existing states whether they recognize, so there is no right to recognition. There was especially true This was especially true during the Cold War, when the national legitimacy of North and South Vietnam, North and South Korea, and East and West Germany depended on which side you asked. Even today, a number of entities are recognized as states by some countries, but not by others. Palestine, Taiwan, and North Cyprus fall into this category. Oh, I didn't know that. The United States has no official policy on what is required for recognition, according to its State Department. Instead, the decision to recognize a state is made by the president. Then the president decides whether to establish diplomatic relationships with the state based on United States national interests. There's no cookie cutter approach. So when you ask for recognition, be sure to explain how your independence will be good for America. In the old days, proving your anti-communist cred was usually good enough. Today, United States strategic priorities are a bit more complex, though as Kosovo proves, ticking off the Russians still helps. Join the club. Since its founding in 1945, membership in the United Nations has become the gold standard of international legitimacy. When you are admitted to the United Nations, that's a form of approval, Thomas said. It's like a stamp that says you are now a full member of the international community. Applying for United Nations membership is a breeze. According to United Nations rules, all you need to do is write a letter to the Secretary General requesting membership. These letters are remarkably short and simple. For a handy template, check out the successful application of Montenegro, the United Nations' most recent member. You can mail your application to Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General, the United Nations, First Ave, 46th Street, New York, New York. Now comes the hard part. The Security Council must refer you to the General Assembly, which must determine by a 2/3 majority that you are a peace-loving state that can carry out the duties of the UN Charter. It's probably not even worth trying this unless you've completed step 3. A number of unrecognized states have applied for UN recognition over the years, including Native American tribes. But without the credibility bestowed by bilateral recognition, these applications are usually just filed away. The biggest obstacle to UN membership is power politics. Neither North nor South Korea got UN membership until 1991 because of vetoes by one bloc or another during the Cold War. Even today, Russia's veto on the Security Council would probably prevent Kosovo from gaining a seat at the table anytime soon. The Republic of China, aka Taiwan, was one of the founding members of the United Nations and once had a permanent seat on the Security Council. But Taiwan was booted out in favor of the People's Republic of China in 1971. After U.S. President Richard Nixon decided to cozy up to Beijing, the Taiwanese government has applied for membership every year since 1993, but to no avail. The United Nations didn't even bother to open Taiwan's most recent letter. As you can see, the point at which a territory officially becomes a country is very much in the eyes of the beholder. International recognition can be a elusive prize. The good news, the longer you wait, the better your chances become. In international law, which is often based on custom, the longer you can maintain your de facto sovereignty, the more likely you are to be accepted. Unless, of course, you're Taiwan. The strength of Kosovo's bid for independence from Serbia is based largely on the fact that it has, for all intents and purposes, been independent for almost a decade. In a more extreme example, the 900-year-old sovereign order of Malta has diplomatic relationships with 100 countries and observer status at the United Nations, even though its entire territory is contained in a few buildings in Rome. So don't be discouraged. Starting your own country isn't simple. It's just going to require a lot of patience and the right of friends. How many people are needed to start a country? According to the United Nations, just having a genuine, permanent population is enough. According to the United Nations, just having a genuine, permanent population is enough. But it is basically a pretty difficult battle to do so anyway. And y'all know how that go with us. So I want to share this guy's thing. Hang on, give me a minute, y'all. This guy's little application that got approved. Okay, let's look at it. United Nations. This was in June 2006. Okay. General Assembly Security Council. Original English. Okay. This isn't English, but it was from an African guy. It was written in African. Agenda item 114. Admission of new members to the United Nations. Application of the Republic of Montenegro for admission to membership in the United Nations. Note by the Secretary General. Chief Kakoma going crazy with the Bible. In accordance with Rule 135 of the Rules of Procedure of the General Assembly and Rule 59 of the Provisional Rules of Procedure of the Security Council, the Secretary General has the honor to circulate herewith the application of the Republic of Montenegro for admission to membership in the United Nations contained in a letter dated June 5th, 2006, from the President of the Republic of Montenegro to the Secretary General. And here's the letter dated June 5th, 2006, from the President of the Republic of Montenegro to the Secretary General. In line with the results of the referendum held in the Republic of Montenegro on May 21st, 2006, organized in accordance with Article 60 of the Constitutional Charter of the State Union of Serbia and Montenegro, in my capacity as President of the Republic of Montenegro, I have the honor to request the admission of the Republic of Montenegro to membership in the United Nations. Accordingly, I should be grateful if you would arrange for the present letter to be submitted by the Security Council and the General Assembly as soon as possible. For this purpose, a declaration made in pursuance of Rule 58 of the Provisional Rules of Procedure of the Security Council and Rule 134 of the Rules of Procedure of the General Assembly is appended to this letter. Signed, Philip Janovic, President of the Republic of Montenegro. And here's the declaration. In connection with the application of the Republic of Montenegro for membership in the United Nations, I have the honor on behalf of the Republic of Montenegro and in my capacity as President of the Republic to solemnly declare that the Republic of Montenegro accepts the obligations contained in the Charter of the United Nations and undertakes to fulfill them. And he signed it. That's it. I swear for goodness. I swear for goodness. So now I'm going to open the panel early because I would like to dialogue about this because this is very interesting. You see how small that was to send the letter to United Nations, but Taiwan people have been sending it every year. They just don't want to be bothered with them people. So I'm going to play one song, take a little water break, and then come back. I'm going to put the link in the chat because I want to talk about this because this is deep and it's important. So listen to one little song, y'all. I'm putting the link in the chat right now because I want to hear what y'all think about this because I got some questions. For real. I got some real questions. All right. All right, y'all. So nobody don't have no interest. So I'll keep it moving until somebody pop up here. That's how y'all usually do it with y'all little shy butts. But so here's what I think, y'all. Now there's so many different ideas out here. In my state, particular in my particular state, back in the 1700s, they had two governors. They did at election time, two separate governors. They kept shit um separate before Jim Crow laws. In the 1700s, they had a black governor and a white governor. And this shit started out in Massachusetts. Now, I it gets iffy because if you want to be your own country, if I wanted my own country, I'm sorry, I can't do that because then I'm giving up my actual country. This soil. I'm not giving up this soil for nobody. Y'all hear me? I'm sorry. I'm not. If I start my own country, I'm giving up my country. And where I'm gonna start at on this land? I guess I would have to start my own damn country. Because whether you believe it or not, prior to the Union, each state was its own country. And it still is. They're sovereign, each state. Okay. And, they're agreed, unionized, based on the federal government being the supreme law. They had that in the middle. And I do feel strongly that it is necessary to have our own governance of our people because for so long, our people have been governed by foreigners. And that's not cool. It's not cool at all. And it's been a long, uphill, nasty battle. And we're still suffering the same things. I mean, we're Indians and our ancestors been here from time immemorial. But we've been governed by foreigners for so long that I, I really feel that there's nothing wrong with establishing our own because in this government, um, it's horrible, to us. Everybody gets a handshake and a benefit, but it's just something about us that it's a no go, and I mean that shit. Every foreigner that comes over here is able to succeed. Even if we wanted to succeed in this government, it's just been hell trying to on our own land. They knew what they were doing to us when we were reclassified as blacks because being reclassified as blacks, the government and the local and state governments and foreigners that's been governing us, they know exactly who we are. And it's always been um since they were kicked out of majority having office in the southern states, our ancestors, the Indians. You know, we put on suits and stuff. And it's been horrible. We haven't been active in it like that. That's because there's so many people over here that look like us that are just not us. And they dislike us just as much as white foreigners do. Yeah. And they don't mind keeping us down because they're foreigners. I mean, when you come in here from islands, you know, they they don't embrace with us, not in that manner. Never. They don't. Now, individual people have their own personal opinions, but for the most part, they're afraid because they're running over here for refuge today. Let me see, Chris. They're, doing, I just feel that you know, if I'm not ready, I mean, you could grow into your own country on your own land. I much rather, I don't know, I think it's safer not giving up your land and becoming your own state. Like it's 52 states. I, I, my idea is a 53rd state, but then I don't want, that I'm not comfortable with certain things with the federal government and the politics. So it's like we could be our own government, but the hell with being recognized by foreigners. Could we just go that route? But then when we do, we got to have our own military because we are definitely going to have to combat those same souls from when they burned down all the Black Wall Streets in all the states. Because, like, we were booming. Our businesses were everywhere. Everywhere. There's not one state that our ancestors wasn't in where you couldn't walk into a soul food restaurant. When I'm talking about businesses everywhere, our dads, granddads, uncles, aunts. eh, I mean, our granddads had businesses everywhere. They had plumbing companies. They had electrical companies. They had stores, grocery stores, fruit stores. Eh, I mean, we had so many businesses. We made medicine. Our grannies made preserves. We was just like everybody was just buying from us. And I saw all that. I think about all those things, all those skills that our grannies and grandpas have, like all those reserves in the jar. Those things sold like crazy all over these states. Like when our grannies would make like jelly and preserves and put them in them jars, that that sold. They was like millionaires off of that because all the states were buying them. And we were trading with each other from state to state. Like if Betty Jean made some, all these different kinds of jellies and preserves down south, they would ship them to the north. So the black business owners in the north could put it on their shelves to sell, or they would use it here in the north to make biscuit, give people, how you go in a black restaurant and a soul food restaurant and have breakfast and a family comes in and you got this strawberry, all these preserves to put on your biscuit. That's where it was coming from. If they didn't make them themselves, but for the most part, our people from the north and south was, shipping stuff back and forth to each other and selling them in our restaurants. We just worked so good together. And not only was we selling it to our people, white people was buying our stuff too from the north. From the north, white people was buying preserves and stuff in the jar from our ancestors in the south. You know why? Because a lot of white people migrated from the south to the north too, and they were very, very, very accustomed to buying our granny's jellies and the preserves. I remember all this. Now, molasses, our grannies, they knew how to make molasses. Now, the sad part is when you're like comparing our grannies from, back in the days to 2000, baby. None of that shit is known. Now, that's why I said the X generation and the young boomers. When I say young boomers, being born in like 1960, evenly, young boomers, we have that still in us, and it's us. It's like the very young boomers. Okay, so if you're like 65 and under, that young boomer, and then Generation X, there's a lot of sisters in my generation. I like Generation X. We know how to make those shits. We still know how to make granny's biscuits. So we're in safe zone. But we have to get this back out, y'all. And that's for real. We still know how to do it because in the our grannies, for the most part, was born in like the 1930s. If you're Generation X, like me, your granny and grandpas and moms was born in like the 40s and the 30s, right? And they knew how to make that shit. And they did pass it down to Generation X. I stayed in that kitchen with my granny. So I know how to make homemade biscuits. I know how to do all that. But in order to get back into that, I got to be retired. This is why I say we got so much skill. And a lot of our men, you know what? You know what else? A lot of our men from the South, they fucking know how to do old shit. When I say old stuff, they know how to melt down stuff. Like, um, they know how to melt down, what do you call it? Steel, or I want to say iron, or they know how to melt it down and make tools. Y'all know what I'm talking about? When they go in there in them factories and they make tools. Our men, a lot of our men still know how to make tools from scratch. That's so important. I mean, now today they got machines to do it for you, but our men know how to, when I say scratch, I'm talking about when it melts it down, right? And you put it in something, in the shape of something. And then when it dries all up, it becomes this solid tool. Like our men know how to melt down. I forgot what you call it. One of our chiefs worked in such a factory. And they know how to melt it down, right? And make spatulas. You know the silver spatulas that you turn pancake over with? They still know how to make that stuff. For real. Remember, they learned how to melt down metal, and I don't know, I'm using the word metal, and make clothes hangers and shit. And that's still in us. And we need to get back into it because we're the last. We're the last. Because the generations before us, they're business minded, but when it comes to making this stuff, doing the labor, they don't know how to do it. A lot of them don't. Yeah, carpenters and blacksmiths. Yes. That's why I love the South so much. That's why I love the South so much, because the minute you hit the southern states, like being in the North all my life and stuff, and never having the honor and pleasure to live down South, and that goes for a lot of us whose families migrated from the South. It's always an honor for us when we go down South, because we've been in the North so long, all our lives. You know, you're talking 55 and 50 and 60 years of never experiencing the South. That's why when we go to the South, you know, people say, oh, the North and the South, they don't get, that's bullshit. Because every damn Northern that I know in our community, when we go on vacation, guess where we go? We don't go to no other country. We go right down South. My colleagues too, that's white. They do. They go south. I swear, they go south. Even the white people, because and they were born here, but they go south for vacation. All of us do. We go down south because when we go down south, it's like it's not industrialized. as much as it is here in New York. It's just real busy in the inner cities. But when we go down south, we are so much at peace, and it's slower. And I don't mean slow like they can't do nothing. I mean like you can really be at peace down there, and you feel the connection the minute you hit them states. It's like it's something that you've been missing all your life. Yeah. And you go down there and you look at their soil. The southern soil is so different from northern. I mean, we have our toxics and stuff, but southern soil, it's like so different from the north. The minute you get down there and you just relax. I don't know if it has something to do with my age, but I'm serious. I don't want, I know, yeah, Sharice, I love the South. That's why when I retire, I'm gone and I'm never looking back. My mother jetted the fuck up out of here, man. I couldn't believe it. She jetted. My sister, everybody gone. And you go through so much. And now Connecticut, they have a lot of opportunity. They do, but the office politics and the bullying and the racism and the jealousy, it's just fierce. It's it's terrible. But when you work in a system so long, you already know the behaviors and you're on cue. You're on it's if you can't think on your feet, you won't be able to swing working in this diverse state. And I mean, people are evil. I mean, fucking low down evil. That's why I want to leave here to get away, but I'm not going to fucking run. I would never run away from my problem. I stand on what the fuck I I do and how I am about myself. I worked, I gave a lot of my life to this government, and I refuse to bow. I'm never going to do that. I've seen many deaths come across, but these fucking people were just outright evil. I don't think nobody even showed up to the funerals. I know I ain't. I just spit on the grave and everybody leave because people are just by nature racist and fucking evil. Bottom line. Now, now, um, now, the difference between starting your own country and starting your own state government is very different. Okay. You can govern your state because there's a lot of things that you can do based on the 10th Amendment. That's why people choose to build states rather than countries on this land. They choose to create states rather than countries. Because with the states, you can join the armies and Marines and be um, civil, which is cool. But when it's a state and it's your own state, and see, you can do what you want. You 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 can I don't think we would have to worry about foreigners wanting to be in our state if we created our own state because we have our own police and our own municipalities. But I don't think that we'll have a problem with people uh not wanting to be part of our state, foreigners anyway, because we'll be governing our own people, our own laws, and I could see that. And our own courts. I wouldn't want our state to be a part of this country's court system because it's terrible. Now, if you're dealing from um if you're dealing from if you I like to deal with things at the federal level. I don't like the states because they all stick together. I bypass them in anything. And I'm highly recommending that people do that, not go to state governments for at least their judicial branches and stuff to file like lawsuits and look for justice. I'd rather I think anybody should go federal, bypass the state, because the people that are the culprits of dirtiness, they should be fired for what they do. I'm serious. They should really be fired for the shit that they do. But what I see happens a lot in a lot of instances, what I see happen, something turns out bad for them. Really, it really does. Just it, don't fight them back. Never fight anybody back, headcore, because you lose. Because that's what they always expect you to do. They need ammunition to try to prove uncivil behavior. Never fight them back. Just always be on your toes. Keep everything documented and never ever trust them. The smile is really a frown. Always remember that. The smile is always a frown. You don't have to slap nobody upside the head because they're slapping their own fucking selves upside the head. Believe that when I tell you. People are evil, and I just sit back and watch them fall in their grave. Don't fall in their grave with them, ever. My grandmother always told me that. Never fall in a racist, evil, jealous bastard's grave with them. Let them crumble in their own grave. And you just move out their way so they can fall. That's what my granny told me, and I stand by it, and I've seen it happen so many times. But anyway, Chris, in regard to all the states being their own countries, what is the ramifications today of all other states except for Texas gave up their republic domain lands to the federal government? You know, I can say this: Texas is smart as hell. But the ramifications is the lack of control. I would have to say, Christopher, once you give up those damn lands, you no longer have control. The federal government does. That's why things are being done on the land that are being done now. But I don't think our people were educated in the manner in which things are happening. For real. A lot. So those are the ramifications. The biggest ramification is you lose control. They control who buys and lives on the land or who they lease it out to. But I really, really, I just feel that as a people and the continued pattern of behaviors from this government towards our people, and I'm not talking about the real bad, our bad people that do bad things. I'm talking about us that are literally that live civil. I think having our own state would be probably one of the greatest things in the world we could ever do. Because that's pretty much how it was before the Iroquois joined the Union. We had our own. And I think our own state, because nobody will be able to come and run for being governor in our state, because ain't nobody gonna want to be in there but us. So I think Dane's idea is really good, but I'm still waiting to get the access so I can hear and listen because he's really still they're doing that 13% thing. And I'm not sure if I don't know all the ins and out of it if you haven't signed up, if it's gonna be a government or a state, a 53rd state. I don't know. But I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things to ever, because I damn sure want to be a citizen of that state. But I don't want any foreigners coming in. The only way you could be in our government, I'm saying if I were to create our own state, the only way you could live in our state is if you're aboriginal to the landmass. You can't be no foreigner coming in. No, because that would beat the whole purpose. I would not want no foreigners. They would not be allowed. That would be in our damn constitution. Because we got, for real, that would be in our constitution. You have to be an aboriginal. You have to be from this soil, mainland. For real, I'm not playing with people. I'm serious. But the link is that have to be ethnic. Yes. And I think it's a really good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea at all because I'm tired of being governed by foreigners who are jealous and they lie and they're just evil. I know. So we got 395 people in here, y'all. Maybe if I refresh the screen. Oh, okay, y'all doing me good. All right. So I would love to dialogue about this. The link is pinned to the top. So I'm going to sit back because I've been talking for an hour and 4 minutes. And you guys, you got to take out the shyness of coming up here. So I'm going to sit back and play music like I did before until one of y'all brothers or sisters bring y'all asses up here and dialogue. That's what my show is all about. It's about dialoguing. Now, the other night we laughed till we fell out the bed. So I'm just gonna wait here patiently. I'm not gonna sit up here by myself and talk y'all to death. I want some dialogue. So I'll wait. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. I swear for goodness. Yeah, Misha. Hey there. Hello. Your mic is muted if you're talking. The I am. Keep the I am. Oh, there you go.
I can do it. My fault. I'm messing up. Yeah, I
Can
was
you hear
messing up.
me?
I can hear you now. Yep, I can hear you.
What you got? What do you think?
Well, you know how kind of probably got an idea how I think. I think we should have our own nation, separate from all other nations and races of people.
But do you think that all right, on this land though, right?
Okay, that's probably where I just have a different. Well, that's just why I have a different opinion on that part. But but wherever it is, I still think that we should have our own separate nation as a people.
But that's the problem right there. See, this is our land and we shouldn't have to leave. We can't let nobody bully us out our own land. I wouldn't want to be on no other land. Like they tried that with our Indian ancestors with the uh going over to Africa and stuff.
Yeah, you talking about Liberia or something like that?
Yeah, they tried to get the Indians to go over there, and the Indians was like, hell no. Why we gotta leave our own country? Why don't you go over there?
Yeah, I'm not with Liberia. I'm not. I wouldn't say it should be Liberia either. Like
I'm not leaving. I think they should leave. They are the foreigners.
Yeah, I know your ideology on that. I know your stand on that. I know you claim to be the original inhabitants of this continent. But either
Right.
way, but if you say a person has that stance, then yeah, they should have their own nation. If they say they're from the land of Canaan, the ancient land of Canaan, they should have their own nation over there. If they say they're from Africa, then they should have their own nation in Africa.
Right.
That's where a lot of the people that live in America that call themselves black or Negro, who calls themselves Negroes, or people call us Negroes or whatever. We have different ideologies when it comes to where the land should be or where we're from. So wherever people say they're from, they should have their own nation, country, land,
Right.
and all that. They should have their own.
I agree. And there's no set number of people to be in your country. That's clear with the United Nations.
Oh yeah, they should. They can't put no. You can't put no. Should nobody be able to control that.
But I personally think a great number to be successful is 2,500 people.
Oh, okay. You talking about the minimum?
Yeah, I think that minimum right there will keep the state going.
Yeah. It probably need to be at least a certain amount of people. That's for sure. Yeah, that probably makes some good sense.
I think that's I believe they had that in their thoughts when they said to be considered, federally recognized, at least 2,500 people should be members. That's when when you're getting your own tribe. But I think a state or a country is more powerful than I do think your own country is more powerful than the state because I just don't feel that we should have foreigners overseeing us. I don't.
Well, I agree with you. That's like I said, a country, because I think anything less than our own nation and country is we're doing ourselves injustice, actually, and it's really disrespectful to our own selves. If we don't aim for the greatest, then why are we aiming at all?
Right. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Now, having our own country, will we allow all of our people in it? Like like w- um like if you see what's going on today in the world in within the United States, the perimeters, how are we going to build prisons? I mean, are
I
we going
think,
to deal with
yeah,
people who are
talk to you.
gang members? Are we going to be able to deal with them?
I think foreigners only should be allowed in a country, and the reason it's the reasons why I think like that. And you can ask me that later if you want to know why. But it's only in your country in reference to service. servicing you as the people that's in that this the descendants of the land of that people's nation. The foreigners come here to serve you all, not the other way around. And they shouldn't be allowed to own any land at all.
They shouldn't. But I mean,
And they
like,
shouldn't be, they
let's
shouldn't be
let's
allowed to do this to the people at all either.
let's pretend that there's no United States and we're building our country, right? Um, we're not. I don't think that we should have foreigners in our country if we're building our own, rebuilding our own, going back to where we were. They wouldn't be allowed to be in our country. I wouldn't want them there because I don't want, are we going to have a voting system? We don't want foreigners being able to be presidents over our country.
That's what I said. If they're going to be there, they're there to serve. They're not there to rule and nor to own any land. That way you see what I'm saying. Only your people will be able to rule the land and own land, not foreigners. They're there to serve and help assist you do what you
But
got
that's
to
the
do.
thing. We don't want them in our country that we
Well,
built. Problem.
they might want to be your allies. They might want to come in and help you.
I don't know how that's going to happen.
I mean, I know what you're saying.
I don't know how that's going to help us, though. I'm not understanding how that's going to help us. I'm more concerned about our sons being these gang members and these murderers. How are we going to handle that?
Well, you know how you got to handle it. Either they're gonna do what's right, or they got to be put to death. It's that simple.
So you think our country should have the death penalty?
Every country should have the death penalty if it's a righteous country, that is. But if their government is built on unrighteousness, nah, you don't need no death penalty then, because they'll be killing people that don't supposed to be getting killed or put to death, should I say?
Yeah.
The death penalty is a beautiful thing, because if you do things that's worthy of death, you should be put to death. Especially if you did it intentionally. Yeah, you deserve to be put to death. I mean, that'll help people live right and be more cautious on their actions.
I think so too.
I mean, I know that sounds kind of firm to some people, but if you're out there murdering people for no reason, your own people and within your own country, then yeah, you should be put to death, because you're murdering people for no reason. You murder somebody for no reason.
What if it's
your own people? Yeah.
What if it's like drug related? Because it seems like our men, they're so heavy into drug lifestyles.
Oh, that's because if you was in your own country, you wouldn't need to try to make money selling drugs. It's your land, it's your country. You got an inheritance from your ancestors, so you inheriting everything from generation to generation. There wouldn't really be no need to be trying to make money selling drugs then.
I would hope
there wouldn't be no need.
So do you think
that would be eliminated on a massive level, I think.
Well, all right, you get our bullheaded people like, well, I don't want to be part of that country, but then you get them that are part of the United States, but they'll come in our country to try their little business, trying to influence our people. Now, we're not going to have perfect people in our government.
But the purpose is to seek perfection. So if someone's trying to come, if your people is trying to like do wrong, then there should be a process that would to eliminate that. And, because if you don't want to do what's right, then either get out this country or you got to be eliminated physically. So if you want to go be with the Chinese, then go be with the Chinese. We can't be afraid to bring judgment. We got to bring judgment on people that's doing wrong.
Right. So we do need to have our own court systems and things of that nature.
No doubt.
Like I believe in. I mean, the way I believe, like if a guy rapes little girls and shit like that, I believe in castrating them so they can't rape anybody anymore.
Hey, if
I
that's
don't
your judgment
I don't
with y'all
I
country,
personally don't think jail is enough.
no, you shouldn't put you shouldn't put people that's doing wrong to little babies in jail. You should put them to death. You got to eliminate that type of poison out of your environment.
Oh, okay, that's even better.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta eliminate that type of poison out of your environment. That way the other men and other women who may want to do that would think more than once about trying to do something like that when they know judgment is going to be fulfilled on their head.
mm, is that you smoke? Yeah, I hey brother Wolf. Uh,
I mean, I don't know
I
everything. I just got some good answers on some stuff though. I'm sure I do. And
you're giving great answers because I was just seeing if people think like me too, have that, have these thoughts like, all right, we gotta have they gotta have some kind of punishment because the kind of punishment we give is gonna pressure them to run back to the United States. Because the United States, they just put people in jail and give them and
she said that pressure will make them run to the United States. That's funny.
well, that's what we
That
want them to run out because if they
yeah.
know that if they come into our country with our own people, I'm talking about our own people coming in our country with those kind of behaviors and something pops off, we're looking to castrate them. That's my first thought is to remove their penis. And you
That's
got
right.
girls too. You got girls who do that too. They
Hey,
rape
Sister
men.
Patty,
Hey,
I
y'all
gotta,
got it. But
I
I'm
gotta
just
stand
saying,
firm. I gotta stand firm. I'm like, nah, I am. Oh no, ain't no castrating them. You getting put straight to death,
yeah,
straight
I
up.
think so too. I
Yeah,
think
you got
so
Because
too.
yeah.
if a dog can attack a kid and get put down and be put to death for attacking a child and not really harming them, and they can get killed. Oh man, you got to go if you're doing that to kids and you're a grown up man. You got to go out of here, literally.
Yeah, like for me, if I was a ruler of a nation or one of the rulers of a nation, we definitely had to put down lesbianism and homosexuality and bestiality. Yeah.
Hey. Hold
Oh,
up. You can't say those things on on YouTube. You can't say those things.
okay,
And
what? Okay,
yeah,
which one?
those got none of
Oh,
those words. You can't say those.
okay,
Be-
sodomy. I'm just gonna say sodomy.
bestiality, yeah, but the other we can't discriminate based on people's choice
References.
of that can't be. We can't do that. A lot of our family members are part of that community, and we can't be discriminatory. We can't.
No,
I
I
I,
wouldn't.
lo- I love my family. I love my family, and so I really do. I love my family to death. Those that are part of that community. And we can't do that because just about all of our people across these states have those members in our families. And I love my family. I don't care who's in their bed, but you don't find that community raping people and doing the things that our own people do. So let's just leave them alone. For real, for real. But we do need prisons. We need prisons. I've heard people in YouTube saying no, there's a better alternative than prison. No, because if you kill somebody um based on jealousy, because today a lot of it's based on jealousy and people are getting killed and domestic violence. I'm sorry, you gotta go. So you can't do it to nobody else.
Yeah, but
Which
at the same token, if you take a life, I would want that person to sit on death row.
right. No, I agree. I agree. We have to really examine the case because so many people go to prison for self-defense. Oh, I hope I didn't turn I am off, but I just don't like to do that kind of talk. There's so many, I don't like to do that. But I agree, straight smoke. I we 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 even have to evaluate people that kill somebody else because is it self-defense? I don't think the United States does a good job on self-defense cases.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No. They as of lately, no, they haven't. And in the past too, but as of lately, it's gotten really bad. It's gotten really bad because you do
I
have the right to your self defense. If somebody breaks in your house and you shoot them, you shouldn't be going to jail.
That's right.
Straight up, you should
You
not
should
be
not
going.
do not one day in jail.
Nope.
And that person that you shot needs to still go to jail.
Well, if they're excellent marksmen, then it's only going to be one story.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And people trying to rob you. I mean, like, what type, how are we going to let people in our country? Is it just open arms and welcome for all our people?
Well, that's through a evaluation process. I'm pretty sure that would happen like that with an evaluation process, a genealogy thing, probably, but it's just a simple evaluation. But as far as anything outside, as far as any other nationalities, if you will, that's going to be a staunch hard no for me. We can do business as far as import export, but as far as you living within our state, no sir, no ma'am, no ma'am,
I agree.
no ma'am. Because I would not want the temperament of other people is one thing, and that's how societies, to me, that's how societies get. As you duly noted, even look at Indian history. You know, they subsequently moved in a pale face to kick out the actual face and say that these are the ones. You showed that picture numerous of times. The lady sitting there and getting rid of the people that's in there, saying that you're no longer part of this nation. So I wouldn't want the usurpment to come back to bite us. That's what I'm looking at.
Will we have our own Social Security? Like, if our people work, and will they pay, you know, taxes and Social Security so that we could keep our government running? It's like when they get old, they have money to live off. I really think that Social Security is a great system. Otherwise, how would we? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't even know if money will exist. I'm just putting this out there. Will we?
I believe it should be. You always want to pay into something or if you don't want to use that let's just use that structure, the SSA. If you don't want to use it, at least make a something of similarity to it.
Right.
You know,
Well, I'm because I'm thinking like we have to pay for our law enforcement.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We have to pay for our law enforcement. We need our own hospitals because we don't trust this government's doctors, all these foreign doctors coming in here practicing on us, and they're just like filthy.
Right.
They are filthy. We there's a lot that we need. When you're talking about breaking away, we're talking about breaking away from all of their hell. Their doctors, their foreign doctors, their medicines, all this stuff. We really need. This is a huge thing. We don't want to get medicine from them.
No, not at all. I mean, majority of these things can be acquired through trade anyway. We already know the roots of certain medicines already, the root forms of them, and we can take those and we can create it in a pure form like it used to be, not what they're trying to do now.
Right. Like in our 50 states, in our hoods, they have the walk-in clinics, but they're filthy. They're disgusting. I would never go in one of those.
No, not at all.
It's terrible. We need it. When I say we need our own, we need our own. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And the support mechanism for that would be the business that we generate and create. That would subsequently get us to where we need to be. We have to have a solid foundation as far as business and innovations and things of that nature, fabrications, things of that nature, construction. We have to be able to have those things already set in place, ready to go. That would provide for what you said, like law enforcement, hospitals, things of that nature. I mean, to me, it's like a simple structuring because I can see the structure itself. All of this will come out of us being able to create our own lane as far as any kind of imports and exports and stuff like that.
So do you think that we'll face problems with this government creating our own on this land? Because like with Oklahoma, I don't think that they were paying taxes to the federal government. I didn't look into that. Were they? Was Black Wall Street paying taxes to the federal government?
Now, that
Because
part I do not know.
that would be interesting to
That's
know.
that's an interesting thing to know because that would give you the reasoning for actually what happened there. You was generating so much money, but you wasn't giving it, giving some to this federal government. They like, hold on, look here. Y'all got about 30 more damn days until y'all better start running us some money, or it's gonna be some problems. That sounds about, yeah, I want to know that now.
I would like to know that. I
Yeah.
never. Now I do know that those that started Black Wall Street were our people that were already there, including the Indians that came there and chose not to live on the reservation. That's who they were. And those that chose not to live on the reservation, they're the ones that were there when Oklahoma became a state. They made him a state. Rick, I think that could be the issue right there, straight smoke.
Mm-hmm.
When they said to go on a reservation, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And they decided not to, you will become citizens in your home state. So Oklahoma being their home state, they automatically became citizens because they chose not to go on that reservation in
Right.
Oklahoma. Because they're in Tulsa. They're in Tulsa, and that's where the reservation was. But our Indian ancestors chose not to go and live on a reservation. So on that note, they became citizens of the state. And I think that's what it could have been.
Because if that
Because
was the case, if they was on reservations, they wasn't paying no taxes.
right. And they weren't.
Oh,
That was the key.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig in that tonight.
Yeah, we need to find that out. I don't think that they were paying in the
Tax?
beginning.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right, because
I'm wondering.
if you was removed to if you was removed there and you was considered and you wasn't being taxed.
Well, that's only the ones that were on the reservations.
Right.
But
That's
then you
what
have outside the reservation, which is where Black Wall Street was up. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, some of the Indians that was on the reservations helped burn them out too. Because they wanted them out of there because they was making all the money.
money.
Everybody was going to Black Wall Street to get their groceries and everything. They were booming.
Yeah.
I mean, and you got bombs dropping from the sky. That's government. That's not just some old person with their own damn helicopter or
Airplane.
whatever.
Like
yeah.
Cessna come and
So,
drop something like that now.
yeah.
Ooh,
So that's
interesting.
what my concern is. Like, if you become booming, is this going to be something that the government would do it? But if you're recognized by the United Nations, as I read, you're actually protected from that.
Well, now see, that's my problem right there. I saw that part earlier and I'm like, ooh, well, when you sign up with them, there's a whole bunch of things that they want to do with you, right? From your medical to your science and to the way of overall your way of life and your government. They want a part of all of that in compliance with their so-called protection. You got to really the UN is not a very nice entity. It really is not.
I didn't do a lot of studying on them. Shame on me.
Ooh, me.
But
Oh my.
I mean, they made it seem so simple for that African guy. But I mean,
Yeah.
they. I mean, there's still there's still Indian tribes trying to get recognition from the UN.
That's
But they say don't give up, keep going, because you have to prove yourself to be a really great resource and beneficial.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really do your due diligence on the UN, because from what I understand, it's not a good look. It is not a good look. That's what a lot of wars were over because of that because of them. A lot of that. The EU and the UN, straight up, that them people are not hey, like
I mean, there is like one person for every country, right?
yes. Yeah, they are representatives from every country that goes there. As a matter of fact, all of those people go to the World Government Summit. Yeah, it's like that. It's where all these people come together to make policy for the whole world, because there are representatives of each nation there.
Mm.
Yeah. When I say policies, I mean them kind of policies. Yeah. We talking about your Green New Deal. Yeah. Stuff like that. Carbon.
I mean, it's so huge. The only way somebody could get in would be able to get in our country from, I'm trying to look at it like, all right, we're a country, and people are gonna, they're probably gonna see that somebody's renting out an apartment, and that's their way into our country. I mean, people that look like us, of course, our people.
I mean, yeah, but they will be from, if it was me, they will be put through a very scrutinized background check for real.
So if Pookie walked up in there and said, "Look, I want to come and live in there," and then Pookie start getting there, he good for like 6 months. Then he started shit. Then what?
Well, he
You know what
wouldn't
I'm
be able to
saying?
get in just that quick.
Pookie will have to be put down in fear of his retaliation. I mean, I'm trying to see how that's gonna work, because they'd be like, "Ain't this our country for us to come in there?" And
It
I mean,
sure
how are
is.
we gonna handle? How is that gonna be handled? I mean, is our military gonna just take care of that?
I would look at it like this. Pookie ain't gonna be able to just walk in and be like, yeah, XYZ 1, 2, 3. No, we're gonna do a house visit to where you at first. Because we
So
just don't want.
basically, you're saying that the Indians can't really come in with a horrible background.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But verify. Just verify. That's all I'm saying.
But
Before you,
verify what? You're gonna know his background. He shot 3 people and he went to prison for
okay.
selling cane. So are we gonna deny him or give him a chance?
Oh, me personally, I'll give him a chance.
Okay. That's what
I
I was
would,
asking. I mean,
yeah,
like,
I will give him a chance. And if he come out a bag on us, we got to deport you.
but I mean, I think they would be great soldiers. They probably I would rather be in the military to protect
I understand.
my family. That could change them.
but I
I want
wouldn't
to
want
make
him to revert back to selling that poison. You see what I'm saying? So I have to look at it from that perspective. What you coming in with and how you adjust or assimilate, that all depends on that individual. But after that, if you do something wrong, yeah, I wouldn't consider jailing the man. No, I would deport him back to the United States. You go. I mean, that's how I would look at it.
Do you think that would be another good question? Seeing that he's a citizen of the United States, do you think the United States would be coming to look for him?
Ooh, well, depending on if he has any outstanding stuff like that. Yeah, if yes,
Yeah, we have to look at it because they do that
because they
a
would want
lot.
extradition laws. They would want extradition laws so nobody could run there, commit a crime and then run to us. They would want extradition laws.
Yeah, because that's what they do with Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our people either run to Canada or Mexico.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have that. That's something. See, that's a lot of other. That's the other things you have to consider, because you might have your own state government, however you see fit, but you're gonna have to work with them in some capacity. Like you just brought up extradition. If somebody tries to come in and they've done something in the United States is going to be like, well, is this man or woman with you all? I mean, hey, that's a tough call.
Hey, Guitar Cab Choctaw, y'all hit the link. Chris, I think I seen what's his name from Bruce Sanchez channel. Damn, his name done slipped my mind. Yeah, the link is pinned to the top with the deep voice. What's his name? Talking like Tone Loc. The brother.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name though.
Oh my God, it's and I know who he is. Shame on me.
But yeah, you're gonna have to consider a lot of different things though.
Kataba Cam, I like to get your feedback. Choctaw, hit the link. I like to get y'all's feedback because I mean, this is very serious.
Yep.
Because literally in Connecticut, that's what the black governors did. They were over all the black people.
Yeah, that's serious. That's serious. I wish Dane all the luck with that too. I really do. I want to see it.
I'm part of the 13%. I want to learn more,
Mm-hmm.
but we got to wait to get in the thing. I got in. I was talking to Amani, unless I just don't know how to work it right. But I think that's a phenomenal idea.
Yeah, me as well.
They probably have great ideas too. Have you joined?
Me, no, I haven't. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. My cousin is already a part of it. He was telling me little things here and there. So, I mean, it's spreading. It is spreading throughout the nation. For real, for real. It really is.
Yeah. Yep. I advise all YM members, look, be a part of it because this is what we want. This is what we want. Hey, girly. This is what we want. But I mean, the way they wrote it, in starting a government, I mean, I guess it wouldn't make any sense if you became a 53rd state. But then again, would it? Are we able? See, that's what I don't know. Are we able to not let people, if we say like we did start a 53rd state, do we have a right to tell people no, they can't come to our state and live? Because I've seen states kick people out their state and told them don't return. They can't come back to this state no more.
Oh, yeah.
Are those laws still in existence? I
Yes.
gotta look and see because I never, deal with international law or,
Yeah.
do.
I know a couple of people that live in Chicago. They can't go back to Indiana. They cannot go to Indiana. And it's their neighboring states. Yeah, I got some friends like that. They can't go to certain states.
So that would be the same for us if we became a 53rd state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have the right to refuse anything. Yes. Now, mind you, they did go over there and do some stupid stuff, but yeah, they was told either, they did it like 6 months, and then after that 6 months, you got to go, you got to get out of here. You cannot return to this state. Yeah, straight up.
Wow. I didn't know if that still existed today.
Oh yeah.
If they can tell you cannot come back to this state no more, you must leave the state. I know they did that a lot in Texas. They tell you got to leave this here county. You cannot come back.
Yes, they still got that. Oh yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to be no sanctuary state because we don't want we don't want people in our state. We just don't, literally. But will we run across discrimination laws for not letting other races in our state?
No.
Are you sure? Have you even looked into that?
I'm being totally honest with you. I mean,
it could just be a state of niggas and nobody else.
All I'm saying is that by you doing a thorough background on anybody that wants to come in, you have the right to deny. That's all I'm saying.
This would be interesting. I think it's a good idea. I think it's just a concern of controlling the behaviors of our people, because first of all, white people are not coming to live in our state, point blank. You already know that. It's our people. And we have some really tough men, like scary. Scary. Did you see that Haitian guy? The Haitian gang? Oh, God.
You want to hear something crazy nobody is talking about, really?
What?
Did you see how Haiti let go 4,000 inmates?
From prison?
Yep.
I imagine them doing that here.
Mm-hmm. 4,000 inmates.
How many?
4,000 hardcore inmates.
I think it's because they're preparing for that civil war.
Something is happening, and I've been following a lot of different.
Choctaw thinks that the pale face is going to want to live in our state.
Never. See, that's the whole thing.
Have laws that they, I mean, like, they're, see, I don't know.
Now,
but
see,
the right to be governors and take over our damn state. There it is again. They did the same thing with the tribes. The citizens became the chiefs.
Mm-hmm. And for this to be a 53rd state, what would be this location?
That's the other thing that that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Is the land within the United States or is it without the United States?
United States. I want to know that part right there.
Exactly.
Because everything on the mainland right now is tied up, bro. So
well, that's why I said it. Would it make sense to be a state or a country? That's the question.
But where is it gonna be? That's my whole point right there. Where?
Wherever there's land so that we can be. And within these states, all of it is there's a lot of unincorporated lands.
I hear you.
There's a lot of unincorporated lands. Oh my God, my tribe members is. My tribe members is texting me. They so crazy. Y'all need to stop. But
can you give me a reference to where these lands are?
All right. Should I pull up the old 1940 unincorporated land list?
No, I want to see that one for 2022, 2023.
Okay. Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Let me
want to
try
know
to
that.
find it.
Just food for thought.
Um, they have no. I definitely don't want to be in Los Angeles. They're getting ready to fall in the damn water. Um, I knew they was gonna pull this shit up. The 1940. My goodness,
Hmm.
it just pulls the same one up. Um, I don't think they made one since 1940. If they did, it's damn sure hidden. 19. This is
That's
unincorporated
interesting.
community. Huh?
That's interesting.
Here it is. Unincorporated communities. But this is from 1940. Shit's changed. My grandmother was 8 years old. In Nebraska, they got 5. Let me see. Let's do it over here. I, you know that this has changed since then. But here we go. Alabama. Total 56. Let me see. Area and total. Number of unincorporated communities classified according to specified population groups by United States, but that's in 1940. How long ago this was? Alabama, California. This has changed since 1940. They got to have an updated one. I have to go look later on their website. But
I
here
just
we
did a
go.
quick search on it, and as of August 2021, 5 unincorporated organized inhabited territories include Puerto Rico, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands. All are islands.
Damn
We
it,
have America, Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana
Bayview.
Islands, Puerto Rico, and United
But this
States
is
Virgin Islands.
unincorporated communities in the United States. So if they're unincorporated in the United States, look at this Chickasaw, Mobile. These are part of Alabama, the county. What is this? These are populations that actually live in unincorporated community. Arizona.
Bringing me back to this older version.
Yeah, this is
Started in
old.
18.
This is old.
They keep bringing me back up to these five islands. That's it. These are the only ones.
They don't want your ass to know. Connecticut. They're not unincorporated no more. Like Blue Hills, Broadbrook, Canaan, Cheshire. Are they still? I have to look and see. They can't be unincorporated if they're connected to city water, right?
Correct.
So yeah, this is very, very old. A lot of these towns aren't incorporated. A lot of them have their Indian names too. Yeah, this is very old. This is old. But it's something to really think about. That's the thing right there. Is it going to be a country or is it going to be a 53rd state? That's the question.
Yeah, that's it.
We got to have our own lawmakers. I mean, when we say start from scratch, we really start from scratch. It's a lot.
That's a lot to do.
Because when you don't have lawmakers and different things, you making laws every 30 days, you end up being a cult rather than a country.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, they said don't drink the punch, didn't they? Jim Jones.
That
Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, that's that. You know, you're teetering on a strong line right there, because like most people know, if the U.S. government just says that you're doing something they don't like, they gonna come.
that's when you
Straight up.
gotta. Yeah, that's why I said, is it? You know, you don't want your babies and everybody harmed. So, I mean, it is Indian land. Is it better to be a 53rd state or government? That's the good question.
That's a good question as well.
What you rather have the country, right? Or
Me,
your own government rather than a 53rd state, right?
I would rather have my own government than be a part of the 53rd.
Right. Right. Because it would make any sense.
No, all you're doing is giving them another territory that's under their control. You will have to
Correct.
what they doing
Correct.
if you become a state.
Right. Facts. Hey,
You're gonna have
hang
to have
on.
a constitution.
Hey, take it, Smoke. I'm just gonna run to the ladies' room, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold it down for me.
All right. Those are some serious questions. You know, I was looking up, and unincorporated lands right now is all islands. That's in the present right now. I named them off: Guam, Northern Mariana Islands. I don't know why I took it down, but becoming a state within the system, I mean, you're still going to be a part of the system's any and everything. You're going to have to go by the state law, federal law. You will have to do that. See, that's a hard thing to actually conceive, you know, because if it's bound on actual mainland, where I mean, where would that be at, you know, location wise? It's not like you can go annex a part of like you know, Montana or something like that, because that's what you would be actually trying to do is annex another state or portion of a state to be within the mainland. So that's a hard one. I don't know. I'm not saying I got all the answers, but yeah, man, looking at it from the federal government perspective, hey, I don't know how that's gonna work. Not to say it can't work, but I mean, any of you in the chat, y'all got anything? How do you feel about it? Because I'm looking at it from that perspective alone. It's just a hard thing to actually, yeah, that's kind of hard there. I don't know how that's gonna work. That's why my biggest question was where, if it's on the mainland, where at? And I saw a couple people in the chat saying it's unincorporated uh land all over. Well, I can go and look at the land. What is the name of that place? Land and Services, I believe. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Where's my bookmarks at? Maybe I got it under one of my bookmarks. That's the timeline. Nation. Maybe it's in this one. Nope, that's not either. Maybe I got it on this other one over here. Let me check these bookmarks and see what we got. Because that is a very interesting thing there. Do. Maybe I need to open up a new page. Oh, there we go. Let me see here. Man, I don't even have it on here. What did I do with that? Okay. I'm gonna have to find that another time. I'm definitely gonna have to do that. Yeah, I understand, Miss Aboriginal Turtle. I understand. Con Wolf, it ain't just that he's like you think it is. You cannot get your own government here in the United States. You don't have no military power. That alone is a you defeated. Huh? Why do you think the United States put millions and billions of dollars in the military? That is your foundation. We've had people in the past, they had their own land, hundreds and thousands. Well, and those are all things that everybody has to really keep in mind. It's like I said, that's a tough one there. What land in the mainland could you actually get like that?
You're right, Miss Aboriginal Turtle. You're absolutely right. She's right.
Yeah.
She's 100% right.
Yes,
Facts.
she is.
Factually right. Hey, Miss Aboriginal Turtle, you think you could text Dane to see if he'll come up? Oh, I know he's busy working on a film right now, but I sent the link to Chief Dane and asked him to. Oh, nice. I hope he do join. That'll be cool.
Yeah, what?
Heck yeah, it would be cool. I know he don't like to be disrupted when he's doing his film stuff. Oh, thanks, Smoke. I had to go. I threw a Popeye in the oven because I don't I just don't feel like cooking today. I cook
I
tomorrow.
know that's
Oh,
right.
and Sharice the realist, tomorrow will be good. Sharice, if you're still out there, there. Let's see, the ones that fail, the people should create sovereign government. This is really simple, man.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on lazy mode today too. I I just don't. I don't know. I'm gonna see what Dane's feelings are because he, did a whole segment. I did not know this government bombed um Tulsa. I did not know that. He
Mm-hmm.
pointed out. He if he hadn't have never said that, I wouldn't have never thought of that because I just thought it was an angry mob of jealous pale faces. But he was like, "Oh hell no!" So I still want to hear his opinion about all them other slave numbers they came up with, and where's the
Oh
people? How they
God,
get the numbers and no names? But they all in Jamaica.
that's so crazy.
I know.
That was crazy when you showed that. I was like, man, get up out of here. Get up out of here. Come on now. Come on now. It's a lot of this stuff is just, if you can't apply it, using common sense and rationality, it's got to be propaganda. I mean, come on.
Hmm.
At what point? I mean, let's just say all those numbers they had up there. Let's say it was like close to like 30 million or something like that, 40 million. I mean, it don't make it's not adding up. It's just not the math ain't mathing with that.
What are your thoughts about Conway's comment? The only way that's going to work, you have to work within the system. We, as like minded people, have to be on one accord. That's the only way it's going to work going outside the system military. What are your thoughts?
Well, like I said, and that's just
Will
me.
be conquered. This foreign government will not let you set up inside the United States. We have to let we haven't let them get too far ahead. That's the reality of it. If you have to work with, yeah,
See,
that's what I thought. That's why I wanted to ask because I'm like, how can you start a government within the confines of the United States? It
I
doesn't
don't
make
see that
sense,
working. I don't see you will have to become a 53rd state and a member.
right? That
That's it.
that's what I thought, but
When you walked away, I had said that's what because that would be like you're annexing some land already of the United States to make this work. They're not gonna. I mean, you think you're gonna be able to annex a portion of Montana or something like that? That's not gonna happen. It's not
but I
gonna happen.
mean, well, what about the unincorporated land? That's not. I mean,
Those are all islands, Sister Bethy.
no, there's unincorporated lands within states.
I just looked it up.
Oh,
That was from
I,
2022. Yeah, these are all islands. I even went back and did another one and said within or on the mainland within the United States. Nothing. It brought back up the same thing. The 5 islands that I named. That's it. That's all. Yep. But as far as on the mainland, there is no unincorporated lands. That's not what that's at least that's what they showing me from just a quick research from the US government.
yeah, but they have unincorporated areas, which are communities and areas that are outside the jurisdictional boundaries of incorporated cities.
Yeah, those lands is mainly farmlands, and that's why you can only, like, if you're like where I'm at, I can grow vegetables all I want. But as far as like chickens or anything like that, I'm too close to the city limits. I'm within the city limits. So I can't do it. If I was outside the city limits, I can do that.
Oh, wait a minute. Because even if it's unincorporated, you still will have less tax. You'll have less taxes. So who's taxing you? The government. We literally, when our ancestors joined forces with this United States, it's like they turned over all the land. That's why the federal government's in control, buddy. So
Yep,
you would have no choice but to become a 53rd state
correct. If it's on the main land,
because it's still Indian land being controlled by the government.
yep.
Hey, Chief Curtis, curious. Definitely that it is what it is.
That's just, that is what it is.
Interesting. See, I gotta look more into it. You gotta look more into this before you could just do. My people live in one unincorporated town today, but they pay taxes. Original one.
Guarantee they paying taxes.
Yep, Kai, he's right. That's what I knew I was talking about. I wasn't going crazy. Um, um, there is absolutely unincorporated areas inside America landmass. I drive by a lot of signs stating, "Yep, Kai, he's right," because I know I was.
Hear you.
Only way we could all be in one territory is if we had our own unified military. If not, you already know what's going to happen. Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
Convo said, did most of the black communities in the past Tulsa, Rosewood, Black Wall Street in North Carolina? This is nothing new if you don't have military power. This fine girl will not let you sit up here.
Yes,
Right. Miss
Miss
Aboriginal Turtle. That's a fact.
We
That's a
have to.
fact.
I'm
We
not
gotta
I'm not
try.
dismissing it. I am not dismissing.
We have to try. We
Gotta
do.
try.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes,
And maybe
ma'am.
that would be the start way to do it, is start off in one of these small towns.
Mm-hmm. I'd be the first one to put the paperwork in to get recognized and see that the United Nations.
Please look into them.
Yes.
Please, for the love of all that you please look into them first. That is, you really need to look into it first.
Yeah. Got to do some digging. Really, really great digging. Oh, he did come up. That's you, Dane?
Mike is muted, sir.
I see his thing moving.
Yeah, his mic is muted.
Okay, wait a minute. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. Oh, yep,
There
it
we go.
isn't. Yes.
Yeah. Sister Betty, I gotta be quick though, because I'm working on something. Okay, so I'm not gonna be long.
I know, but thanks.
Okay.
I did try to get in. I got in, and I was talking with Amani because I called her first, and we was talking. But it's still something else that has to be done because he's saying that, and also on your channel, it's still blocked. Because I saw the other day, but I was like, nope, something. But
Nothing is. I'll check it, but there's no blocks. It hasn't been blocked for a while. But I'll check it. Yeah, I mean, if I'm
Even
not
on your
mistaken, I
channel?
believe that I saw you come in there. I believe I had that notification. and
Oh,
you have it set
wow.
with your picture in there and everything. But
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna
Nice.
have to take a look at it to see.
Okay.
What's that feedback I'm hearing? Wait a minute,
Oh,
one
that was
second.
Catawba Cam's background. That's not
Okay,
you.
but let me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that. But you're gonna have to give me some time, because I'm in the middle of everything. I have a lot of
All
stuff
right,
open
take
right
your
now. I'm working
time.
on something.
I ain't want to disturb you. I just saw Miss Aboriginal Turtle. And I know she could get to you quick. She be like, I'm sorry.
Mm,
But listen, Dane, I
Yeah, she's
know
one of
you
my
gotta,
assistants. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I know you gotta go, but do the government bombed Tulsa, right? It wasn't just a group of angry mob, right?
Yeah, that was the government.
Okay.
That was the government.
All right. So it was the
They were
government.
involved eventually, but how it sparked off was uh, former soldiers of particular wars that they even had, military artillery with them, coming back home, noticing that our people were in great position. Jealousy sparked off. So, I mean, to start it off, yeah, it was, former or military people that started it off. Then eventually the government got involved. Yeah. I mean, because they created martial law in less than 24 hours and sent the militia there. And then
Did they have
everything
their own
escalated.
police force?
Who?
Tulsa, did they have their own police force or whatever?
I'm not sure if they had. No, as far as the Greenwood district, I'm not sure.
Did they have to pay taxes to this government, or were they sovereign to themselves?
I wouldn't consider them sovereign. No, I wouldn't consider them sovereign. As far as them paying taxes, I'm pretty sure everybody paid property taxes. Because I mean, they owned businesses on top of that. Now, of course, the money would have circulated within the community, in which it did. But as far as paying taxes, I mean, that wasn't really heavy back then.
They was
1921.
off the reservation anyway, so they would definitely had to pay taxes because they
Yeah,
was not
but
on
it's
the
not like how
reservation.
it is right now. Like, meaning it's not regulated the way it is right now. It wasn't a form of they had to pay taxes, technically, like how it is today. Like, you can't specifically point out to a legislation that forces us to pay taxes. But, and it's the reason why Trump pointed that out. Like, they would have to change the tax code in order to enforce taxes. But people don't look at it
Correct.
that way. They feel as though they have to because that's something that they're told to do. Now, that's something that you agree to do. That doesn't mean that it's mandatory. It wasn't mandatory back then neither. But if anything, property taxes were owed, depending on the state, and we're talking Oklahoma at that time. So of course they
So
paid
that would be
property
just to the
taxes.
local municipality, not the federal government, right?
Correct. It wouldn't be federal.
Oh, wow.
The only time it
that's
would be
so-
federal is if you are upon federal lands. That's the reason why you saw specific areas categorized as federal lands, because they federalized the lands, or incorporated the land to be federal. The majority of the land was unincorporated. That's why you considered it Indian territory.
Right.
Indian territory and Indian country. Those were the
Right.
categories that were utilized prior to that. So technically, everything was unincorporated. And still, a lot of land is unincorporated.
Yes.
Specifically, federalized lands are what you would see would be considered federalized lands that the local governments will have control over.
Okay. But they don't have the local. I just read that the local municipalities don't have jurisdiction of the unincorporated land.
They don't.
In there. Okay.
Nobody don't. You can't touch
Yes.
anybody on unincorporated lands. Unincorporated lands is just that. It's unincorporated lands, not unrestricted. Yeah, unrestricted. That's it. Unrestricted.
Okay.
Because it's not registered to the local governments or the federal government. If you recall, I did a live stream on this not too long ago, informing people of the unincorporated lands, as far as that could be an option that we could utilize when it comes to starting up something that we would want right here on these lands. We don't necessarily have to negotiate anything with the government at that point because the government has no control over that. Now, if anything, property taxes would be owed, but it's based on who incorporated that land. Meaning coming from unincorporated to incorporated, that person is in charge. If I go get unincorporated land and incorporate it in my trust, I am now the owner of that land. Remember also further back when I was telling people that all of these states have owners because they're estates. They're incorporated. So all of them have owners. Yeah. And that's why, you see certain areas named after certain people. It could be the owners, or it could be the owners agreeing to have an individual's name labeled as that, particular territory or the title of that territory. It could be involved in a lot of those people, created trust for that reason. Private trust at that. So you can't trace it to say, okay, well, that person is the sole individual that owns it. Same thing with corporations. A lot of people hide behind corporations privately. So you won't ever pinpoint who exactly it is, like who owns it.
That's crazy.
Unless they step out. But once they're a public trade, corporation, it's over. We got to know everything.
And that's why we don't know all the 13% people, but we do know at least one of them.
What do you mean by that?
The 13%. I mean, not the third. I'm listening. You got me saying you're 13%.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm right here.
I mean, the 13. What do you call them?
The 13 families.
Yeah,
the 13 families, 13 districts, 13 bankers.
Monsanto is the only one I know out of all. I said 13% there.
Some of the now you good. Some of the and the reason that's the reason why. I mean, if you notice, that's the reason why I'm using that number, because I'm coming after that so-called 1% that claim that they're elite. Yeah, I'm using it right back against them. The elevator never goes to the 13th floor. 13 districts, 13 banks. And 13 families. I'm like, all right, say no more. And they say that we less than 13% of the population. I said, okay, fine. I'm going to use that number against them. Say less to let them know that I know more than what they think I do. We the 13% community. And I'm going to take that further, by the way. I turned my nose up to becoming political, but certain things have to be implemented. I'll say it this way. Certain things have to be implemented for our benefit. Because if you could recall, in the past, a lot of organizations were created even before the civil rights movement. But when the civil rights movement technically gained traction in the 1940s and especially in the 1950s, they had a lot of organizations that stemmed from colleges and universities. But some of them are still active right now. But what are they doing? They're doing any and everything for their members. For example, prior to all of that, it was the NAACP. And I was talking to them. I was live inside of the 13% community server. Like, well, think about it. Who started the NAACP? And not a lot of people could regurgitate that information, but you had
I would like to know.
You had white people and so-called white people and so-called black people that started it at a time period where neither one of them were trying to state that, was stating that the women can never take a position of entitlement or a leadership role. All they could do was go as high as a secretary. Okay. Yep, but they were considered, but they would still be considered founders of the NAACP. So that should make you question who actually started it and what their agendas are. Still to this day, right now, they make $27 to $28 million a year. From who? Where they get? And that's tax free, by the way. And where they getting this money from?
Yeah,
they have non-paying members. They have non-paid members and paying members. Right now. Now,
they must be getting grants. Because where else would the money be coming from?
I mean, you got to look at it. Because just think about that. That's a group that was formulated by both parties. Well, both races, allegedly both races, right? They state that they got some things done by making their name known. This is the reason why they were considered the National Advancement or National Association for the Advancement of Certain People, not necessarily colored. Because you had all walks of life that were involved and in charge. It wasn't specifically for colored, and we know that to be true because of who they spoke up for. Now, they got involved with a couple of people. Fred Gray, you know, he was the lawyer for them. Thurgood Marshall. Fred Gray was also the lawyer for the movement, the MIA, the Montgomery. Damn, I'm trying to think of what the MIA was. It was Montgomery. It started in Alabama, like right around that time as the Montgomery boycott. But I forgot the name of it exactly. But he was in charge. Well, not in charge. He was the attorney. Now, what made all of these so-called civil rights attorneys get together, band together, and do things for free? Somebody told them to do that. They wasn't doing anything for free. And why was they, trying to cause commotion when everything was fine at first? The Jim Crow laws didn't come about until when? Until folks act like some of our folk acted like we wanted to be with the white folks. Oh no, Ray, they getting treated differently from what we are. They got the best schools, the best this, the best that. Then wait a minute, what was stopping us from making our schools equivalent or better? What was stopping us when we had everything going for ourselves at that time anyway? Think about that. In 1921, as an example, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood District, was our people complaining?
No, they wasn't.
So now why all of a sudden...
They was much better off separate.
What? You see what I'm saying? Now why all of us... That's how you know there was an agenda there. Why all of a sudden... Now, 1940s, 1950s, now you want to complain. Then up come Jim Crow laws and what they referring to when they saying
Jim Crow laws.
The Jim Crow laws allegedly came in the 1940s, but they're referring to, and see, this is where people get the mistake. They making a mistake when it comes to the Jim Crow laws because it was never called Jim Crow. Ever. They were called segregation laws. They need to stop saying Jim Crow. Jim Crow was just a nickname. Yeah, and they used it as a face. They had to put that in the forefront in the public side by way of the press, by the way, in order for people to sink into it, to be influenced by way, hey, wait a minute, we getting treated wrong. Other than that, nobody didn't know about this. Not everybody experienced racism. Not everybody experienced racism. Listen to me. Because think about that. How did Martin Luther King go to college? How did all the rest of them civil rights people get to college if they couldn't afford it, goddammit?
Yeah, and how the hell he get down here from Alabama to work in Connecticut in the damn tobacco field?
They had handlers. They were told to do this. This was purposely done. And this is the reason why I'm trying to point that out to people. They're trying to make it seem like we were less than when we were actually more than. And somebody was in there to bring us back down, to make us physically, spiritually, mentally, and politically less than. That was an agenda to bring us down when we was already at the top. When I exposed that we lost everything once we became registered voters, and I told them, I said, see how they was fighting for citizenship then?
Right.
That means that we weren't citizens before. And as soon as we became citizens, which class was it? First class, second class, or third class? I pointed this out to everybody.
How about no class?
Listen, right now that has still, by law, has not been verified, validated, or accurately mentioned by way of legislation to inform us of which class we fall under. But we have been declassified, defranchised. We have lost where we were supposed to be, which was sovereign, because our younger adults were heavily influenced by agents that were sent by way of the government. The government did that. All political moves. Every single time I looked this up and grabbed this information, each and every one of them were agents. It never fails. Each time. Everybody else better off. But all of a sudden, they got to act like they were in the fields working. They got to act like they suffered from racism. They ain't experienced none of that. All these folks that was doing that political work was doing great. were doing fine. They were earning their degrees. They were making money. They were not struggling. They had cars. They had businesses.
It was all propaganda. All propaganda.
Man, watch. Matter of fact, the film that I'm working on that I'm getting ready to put out, that's why I'm busy. I got to go back to this because I'm getting ready to put it out over the weekend.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, I'm not, me and my wife. Because, okay, this is the reason why it had to be a film is because it was 3 videos of mine and 3 videos of hers that YouTube removed as soon as we uploaded. I'm talking
recently?
Yes, this just happened last week. We tried to upload. We got the screenshots and everything.
Oh, you know what? They had an outage. Did y'all experience that?
No, Sister Betty. Listen. They put the words blocked up. It's blocked with the circle with the X on it.
What?
And it's not a community strike or a copyright strike. They straight up removed it.
Oh my God.
One of them, yes, on my channel and her channel. I said, okay, they don't want this information out. And the way we broke that stuff down, that's why I said, let's go back in the lab, rewrite everything that we're going to do, put it out as a book also, so everybody could get all the research that we did, but definitely put it out as a film so people could see what the agenda was of that era. Because inside of the 13% community server, I proposed the question. I said, so who started the civil rights movement? And once you answer this question, I'm going to leave it at that. Who started it?
The federal government.
Who was the face of it?
The civil rights, Martin Luther King.
Back up.
And Malcolm X.
Back up.
And,
no, not Malcolm X. Nope. Malcolm X was not involved.
I mean,
what is dude name?
Civil rights. Stokely Carmichael.
Nope. Back up. Back up more. Go 1950s.
The Black Panthers. I don't know.
1950s, not 1970s.
1950s. You got Malcolm X. You got Martin Luther King. You got What's that old man's name? Oh, the old elderly man, Garvey. No, not Garvey.
No, I said civil rights movement.
Right, civil rights movement. The famous black man that he looks like Grady from Sanford and Son. What is his name? Oh,
the start of the civil rights movement, the start, and who became the face right at the start
in the 50s.
I want you to think about the first boycott
Jesse
that happened that sparked off. Back up. The first boycott that sparked off the civil rights movement. Watch. Matter of fact, here's a hint. It wasn't a male.
Oh, Sheila Davis. Let me see. It wasn't a male. It was a female.
It was a female. Notice how they don't put females in leadership roles in the beginning? Notice how, don't forget that I stated that.
That old lady, that cute lady that went before Congress.
Who?
Remember you showed her video? No.
Oh, wait, what'd he say? Wait a minute, what'd he say?
He said Rosa Parks.
Stop right there.
That's who it was?
Rosa Parks is considered the mother of the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm stopping right there. I'm not saying nothing else.
Okay. All
right. I'm gonna talk to you, okay?
You gotta put it out. Okay, you got it.
Oh, yeah, I'm putting it out. It's full length, full doc. Watch.
It's this weekend?
Yes, this weekend.
All right. Okay.
You're gonna see it. I'm gonna let everybody know. We probably gonna make it like $1 or $2, something like that. But yeah, it's
okay.
We ain't got no choice. You know, we got to put it out on the website. We tried to put it out on YouTube. Tried. And keep in mind, I had 3 videos and she had 3. So that's over technically amount of time that a documentary would be. So we had to consolidate the information and still bring out the forefront, the points that we want in the forefront, rather. Let me say it that way. But yeah, everybody's going to be educated on that note. And we have the documents. Have them. And yeah, they can't get away with this no more. We got to put it out.
I look forward to that. Yeah. I'll wait until I get into 13% because I got so many questions, to that, not of your personal thing, but if it's safer to be a 13th state or a 53rd state, or but
You could create a state, but once you create a state, you're
we
now
don't
with the
want to become
government.
right. We don't want to. We don't want to.
Yep. You keep in mind,
That's
you
not
can
going to be good.
incorporate yourself without the
That
government.
that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah, because once you become a state with the government, you're
That's
now
it. It's a
property
wrap.
of the state again.
Exactly. No.
Indians are not supposed to be taxed.
Well,
Correct.
damn.
So why are we getting
Damn.
taxed?
Correct.
Damn.
Correct.
Man.
I agree.
You know why we
That's
getting
what I
taxed?
said earlier.
You know why we getting taxed? Because we turning our nose up, calling ourselves still Negro, colored, African American, black, everything
Yep.
else up under the sun.
Yep.
But the term that was utilized by way of legislation that indicated that Indians is not taxed.
Facts.
We know that Indians are Negroes. We know that Indians are colored. The other people that's claiming to be Native American have no correlation with American Indian. None.
Facts.
The people that are Native American are Siberians.
Facts.
And you know what? Everybody else knows that to be true, especially researchers, historians, anthropologists. They all going to agree with that. You know why? Because that information is public. People can find articles on that right now. Matter of fact, here, let me give you one. You can play around with this. I know you're going to have fun with this. Let me give you one right now. Watch this.
You doing a share screen?
I'm about to hand it to you right now.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm about to give it to you right now. You can have fun with this. These fools are out there allegedly taking our place. Who told them that? Who told them that? Who told them they could do that?
Yeah, I would like to know that.
The government. Just like they keep bringing in the foreigners in right now to replace who?
Us.
Keep in mind, we already crowded. Why are they bringing in more foreigners? This is I sent it to you just now. Use that link right there. Oh, you gotta have an account with them though. Hopefully you do. But pull it up. Pull it up. I hope you got an account with them. But I mean, you know how a lot of people online like to use articles. It's a reason why I don't use articles as primary sources, because technically they're not primary sources, especially when it's on the internet. But I'm just want to show that these conversations are happening, showing that these folks are not from here. On numerous occasions, this has been going on for a long ass time. These native, that's why they on TikTok mad at you, because they don't want you to expose them. That's why they trying to sue me, because I was exposing them. And they try to come up with a campaign saying I was being sued for copyright, sued for plagiarism, sued for saying that those people were some of my family members. That's all a lie. And all of that has been thrown out.
That's a hot mess. That's a hot mess.
4 years, or however long this been going on, all they was trying to do was waste my time and waste my money so I could raise the white flag so I won't expose them. Fuck out of here. I'm going to expose them. Fuck I look like. You got another thing coming. I know you fools ain't from here. And so do everybody else. So I'm going to expose it. You just going to get on me, huh? And then the videos they pointed out, see, that one's over 1 million, that one's over 2 million. Mad, huh? You mad, huh? Mad. But I wasn't, keep in mind, I never pointed out your individual fake little tribe, nigga. I never stated y'all niggas' names. I said Native Americans. And y'all all frauds. Every single one of y'all. That's what I said. And made that be known. Try to get me to apologize. Apologize for what?
Apologize for what?
Yeah, they wanted me to apologize on public record. That's what they wanted. They wanted me on record apologizing to them. Nigga, suck. Nah, man.
Oh.
Let me get out of here. But you got the article, right?
Yeah, I had to set up this stupid account, but I got
Do your thing. Have fun.
Okay.
We're going to talk later. You should be in there, but I'm going to check. I'm going to check with Amani and my moderators. You should be in there, though. I could have
Okay.
sworn I saw your picture, but I'm gonna check.
I
It's
was
gonna be
in
this
there with
evening.
Amani. I was in there with you going live this evening?
No. I'm not going live. I'm working. I can't go live right now. That's why I have
Oh.
it posted in a few days. I'm working. I'm
Okay,
trying to get this
cool.
knocked out.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Aboriginal Chris. Thanks, Dave.
Before you get out
Absolutely.
of here, Dane,
Uh-huh.
and my bad, it's just a lot of feedback. My exhaust on my car is loud. I'm headed back home from work. But when we go up to the so I live about an hour and a half away from Cherokee, North Carolina.
Okay.
And me and my brother, when we go up there, we went up there a while back. It was probably like 6 months ago. And if you look at the wall on the people that run the casino, but me and my brother were looking. My brother was like, "Bro, these are all white people."
Stop. They know what's up. They know. That's why they don't want people like me out there to be showcasing this to the world. It's more than just me doing it, though. That's why I'm glad. I'm thankful. It's more than just me doing it now. Everybody waking up now. Everybody like, hold up, bro. Wait a minute. Yep. Yep. It ain't over. We just getting started. Oh, yeah, handle your business. You about to have a ball. Go ahead, Sister Bethy. Go ahead.
I'm going to read it. Who were the ancestors? Care. Okay, thanks, Dave.
Not a problem.
Who were the ancestors of Native Americans or lost people in Siberia? Science say. Oh, genetic analysis of ancient teeth and bones suggests Native Americans largely descend from a vanished group called the ancient Paleo Siberians. Oh, wow. Science discovered human baby teeth at a site on the Yana River in Siberia. The DNA they contain is the oldest genetic material yet retrieved from Siberia. A skeleton. Does somebody want to read this? Because I
can do it, Sister Bethy.
I got to get my food out the oven. Okay.
A skeleton in Siberia, nearly 10,000 years old, has yielded DNA that reveals a striking kinship to a living Native Americans, scientists reported on Wednesday. The finding, published in the Journal of Nature, provides an important new clue to the migrations that first brought people to the Americas.
Okay.
In terms of peopling of the Americas, we have found close to the missing link, said Ezek Willerslev, a geneticist at the University of Copenhagen and a co-author of the new paper. It's not the direct ancestor, but it's extremely close. Decades of research by archaeologists and linguistics suggest that people first came to the Americas at the end of the last ice age, by 14,500 years ago. The route most experts believe was a land bridge that connected Alaska and Siberia across what is now the Bering Sea. Oh, right, there we go. But Siberia is a vast land that has never been home to many cultures over thousands of years. Researchers turned to DNA in hopes of clarifying which of these were the ancestors of Native Americans. Early studies were inconclusive. Native Americans didn't seem to have many genetic links to any living group of Siberians. Drs. Willerslev suspected that the DNA of ancient Siberians could help solve the puzzle. Around the world, he and his colleagues have found the people who live in a place today often have little genetic connection to those who lived there thousands of years ago. The history of Siberia runs surprisingly deep. After humans evolved in Africa, they started moving to other continents about 70,000 years ago. About 45,000 years ago, humans had reached the northern edge of Siberia, where they hunted mammoths and other big game. Vladimir V. Petikal, an archaeologist at the Russian Academy of Science, and his colleagues provided Dr. Willerslev with 2 human baby teeth from the site in Siberia called Yana. His team extracted the DNA from both teeth, which turned out to come from 2 boys. The teeth are 31,600 years old, making the DNA they contain the oldest human genetic material retrieved from Siberia. When Dr. Willislev and his colleagues compared genetic variants in the Yana DNA with living and ancient people, they found that the Siberian boys belonged to a previously unknown population. The scientists called them the ancient North Siberians. Most of their ancestry can be traced back to the early migrations out of Africa, in particular to people who would eventually spread into Europe. Several thousand years before the Yana boys lived, the ancient North Siberians encountered people more closely related to East Asians. People from the two populations interbred. As a result, the Yana boys inherited a mix of the two ancestries. To their surprise, however, the geneticists could not find any living people with significant ancient North Siberian ancestry.
I'm done. These damn people ain't even from here.
Nope. The first people in Northeast Siberia are people that we didn't know, and they are not Native American ancestors, Dr. Willislev said. They are not Native American.
Well, aren't they? I think I seen something somewhere before. They're more genetically related to Caucasians.
Well, just by going off of this right here, that kills the whole North American Mongoloid being Native American. That just killed all that. What happened to the ancient North Siberians? One clue emerged from a fragment of a skull that Dr. Paliko and his colleagues provided Dr. Willislev. These remains, dating back 9,800 years, were found at a site near Yana called Kolma. Dr. Willislev's team found DNA in the Kolma skull as well. A small fraction of that individual's ancestry came from ancient North Siberians, but most of it came from a new population. Dr. Willislev and his colleagues called them the ancient Paleo Siberians. The DNA of the ancient Paleo Siberians is remarkably similar to that of the Native Americans. Dr. Willislev estimates the Native Americans can trace about two-thirds of their ancestry to these previously unknown people. One reason that the ancient Paleo Siberians were unknown until now is that they were mostly replaced by a third population of people with a different East Asian ancestry. This group moved into Siberia only in the past 10,000 years, and they are the progenitors of most living Siberians. It might have been cold and windy, but it was really rich in resources like large mammals, and people wanted to get up there, Dr. Willislev said.
Okay.
The Kolmai individual living long after the origin of the Native American branch, Dr. Willislev estimates that the ancestors of Native Americans and ancient Paleo Siberians split 24,000 years ago. The story gets more complicated. Shortly after that split, the ancestors of the Native Americans encountered another population with genetic ties to Europe. All living Native Americans carry a mixture of genes from these two groups. The new study can pinpoint exactly where Native Americans emerged from the meeting of these two peoples. The Ice Age was at its peak 24,000 years ago, and so different populations across Siberia and surrounding regions may have retreated into refuges where wild game still survived.
There they are.
Ann Stone, an anthropological geneticist at Arizona State University, who was not involved in the new study, speculated that the Native American population may have emerged in one such refuge on the land bridge that linked Siberia and Alaska between about 34,000 and 11,000 years ago. But testing that idea would be hard, she worried. I think it's going to be frustratingly slow, she said. Finding human remains of this age is truly daunting. Making the task more difficult is the fact that melting glaciers drowned the land bridge at the end of the ice age, submerging any human remains that might hold more DNA. Yet the disappearance of the land bridge did not stop the movement of people between continents. Later waves of people moved across the Bering Sea. Teasing apart this traffic is providing difficulty for scientists and has led to debates about the migration shape, the origins of the living Native Americans. In its research,
right back. Go
all
ahead.
right.
This is a mess.
In its research on ancient DNA, Dr. Willeslev's team found evidence that the second wave of ancient Paleo-Siberians reached Alaska sometime between 9,000 and 6,000 years ago. They made contact with Native Americans there and interbred. Now, they made contact with Native Americans that were there and interbred. Dr. Willeslav argues that some living Native Americans have inherited this extra ancient Paleo-Siberian ancestry. These people include tribes in Alaska, Canada, and the Southwest. All speak a family of languages called Nadine. Nadine. We're going to pause for station identification while Sister Betty comes back and we can finish going through this document. Shout out to Dane Calloway for this interesting article. Yeah, he gonna touch on something real hard when he that's something else.
I'm coming.
Rosa Parks.
What's crazy is they notice.
They know this. Oh, I read all the way up to right there. Go back up a little bit. I think that was it.
How far did you go, bro? I'm sorry.
You all right? If you can scroll back up and let me see the ending of the last. Yep, I got to that. I did that part. Okay. All right. So I'm starting where it says but, Sister Betty.
Okay.
Okay. But in a separate study, a team headed by Stefan Stiffels of the Max Planck Institute for Science of Human History in Germany has come to a different conclusion. That team's analysis, also published Wednesday in Nature, traces the ancestry of the Nadane speakers to an enigmatic people called the Paleo Eskimos. Archaeologists have known about Paleo Eskimos for years, thanks to their distinctive tools.
His device is not connected. I'm sorry. Okay.
They first emerged on the Arctic fringe of Siberia and Canada about 5,000 years ago, and it eventually spread all the way into Greenland.
To Greenland. Okay. DJ, it's saying your device is not connected, honey. This is a hot mess. No wonder he did that show. The other Dane did that thing about them.
But these signs of these people vanished around 1,000 years ago. In 2010, Dr. Willeslav and his colleagues sequenced the genome of a 4,000-year-old Paleo Eskimo from Greenland. They found that he had no genetic connection to the Inuit who live in Greenland today. To carry out a new study on Paleo Eskimo, Dr. Schiffels and his colleagues gained permission from tribes in Alaska and Canada to get new samples of DNA from both living people and ancient skeletons. Their analysis indicate that after Paleo Eskimos came to Alaska about 5,000 years ago, they split into three groups. It's a complicated sequence of mixtures and movement, Dr. Schiffels said. One group spread along the empty Arctic coastline until they reached Greenland. A second group moved into Alaska, where they encountered people whose ancestors had come from Siberia some 10,000 years earlier. They inbred, and Nadine speakers carried this mixed ancestry today. Dr. Schiffels and his colleagues argued that the third group encountered another group of Native Americans on the coast of Alaska and interbred with them. These people are the ancestors of the Inuits and Aleutians. But some of them also traveled back across the Bering Strait to Siberia, and from there, about 1,000 years ago, yet another wave of people returned to North America, where they spread through the Arctic and replaced the original Paleo Eskimos of Greenland. Dr. Shivel wasn't surprised that he and Dr. Swillerslav came to different conclusions about such intricate migrations. In the next couple of weeks, I think our team will analyze their data and their team will analyze our data, Dr. Shivel said. I don't know whether we will be a big eureka moment then. Dr. Willislav's hope that the new research spurred more searches for ancient DNA in Siberia and Alaska. The migration that brought the ancestors of living Native Americans into the Americas might have not been the first. It is possible. Dr. Willislav speculated that the ancient North Siberians got to Alaska or Canada thousands of years earlier. It opens the question, should we dig deeper for older sites, said Dr. Swillerslav, and now we know what to look for.
I think that's the end of it. That's a hot mess. That's a hot mess.
Oh, yeah.
So now I can't wait to speak to Captain Taziak, because they're the only ones saying that they speak Paleo Hebrew.
Really?
I can't believe he's saying it's blocking him. That's crazy.
From that article, it clearly states that they moved from Siberia, met up with some Asians, and then they crossed over the Bering Strait to come into Alaska. And the only
wait a minute, they were Asians, period, right? Anyway, right?
They were saying that they was a mixture of it. At first, no. These were just these own people. Then they found Asians. They met with Asians. They inbred with them. They also ran into some Europeans. They inbred with them.
This is dirty lowdown.
So they're just a mixture of people.
They're just a mixture of people.
A hot mess. Because I don't understand how the Asian looking people calling himself the chief. Maybe he's just a person that got voted in as chief, because they didn't speak the Cherokees didn't speak no Paleo Hebrew.
No.
Or no Paleo language. Those was Negroes.
And that's what I'm looking at is I'm after reading that article, they're saying that they went from Alaska all the way through Canada and then crossed from out of Canada right above you and went towards Greenland, which is a hop, skip, and a jump from Canada, actually, which is another skip and a jump from Europe.
Okay.
So that's their migration. That's what they're saying.
A hot mess. No, they're done. They're not. They need to stay Native Americans, because that's what we're not.
Nope.
Wait. So it's saying they came from Europe to Canada and then to America?
No. They started in Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
They started in Siberia, crossed the Bering Strait, which is the ice bridge between America and
Canada.
What do you call that? No, it's America and over
Alaska,
on,
ain't it?
yeah, it's Alaska, but it's Siberia to Alaska.
Right.
That's the Bering Strait. And then from there they went they integrated with that was in there too. They integrated with people that was there. And then they moved clear across Canada and then out of Canada into Greenland. Because they tested a dude that was from there in Greenland that looked like one of them, but he had no green. The people of Greenland there now, he had none of their DNA.
Wow. They must have died in some sort of catastrophic event, because why they finding baby teeth?
It was cold.
Mm.
You traveling through something that's, I mean, it gets cold in Alaska. I mean, really, really cold.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I've been there. It gets cold. But yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. Not one time did they mention that they came through any parts of the mainland of America.
Yeah, they went to Canada.
Yeah,
So
they
how
went
are
from
the
Alaska to
indigenous
Canada.
down here? Get the hell out of here.
So that just that's a nail in the coffin right there.
Yes, it is.
So they made up their own North American Native American story. That's all this is. Those people never came into like let's just say Alabama, Texas. You know, you see what I mean? They were nowhere Tennessee, Kentucky, none of that. None of that.
Right, right. Because I was just talking about how, they have all these stories about them being all in the southeast and stuff, but like you don't need you I don't you don't see them. Like I don't ever see a quote unquote Native American. Like you don't see them anywhere.
It's saying devices not they need to connect their mic camera before you can add them to the stream. That's what it's saying, DJ. They will need to connect their mic slash camera before they can add. Oh, that's what it is, DJ. Somehow your mic and camera's not getting connected. That happens to a lot of people until they learn how to use their cell phones. If you got headphones off, take them off.
That's wild.
That's very wild. I'm sorry, I'm eating my Popeye.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry, Catawba Cam. You got it, hun. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just saying like me and my brother were talking about it and I was just like, bro, I don't ever see you don't ever see like a quote unquote like Native American here. Like I don't ever see them. I always think like where are all these people at?
There are a lot of them in Canada, though. For real.
it's a whole bunch of them up there.
Yeah, because we went to Brevard, we stopped in Brevard a while back, and there was like a little, Native American dude. He owned like a shop that we walked in, and I kept looking at him or whatever. He kept looking at us. I kept looking at him, and finally I asked him. I was like, "Where are you from?" And he told me he's like Apache or something like that. And he looked at me. He was like, "You?" I was like, "Oh, we're Catawba." I looked him dead in his face, and he didn't even say anything. He just got real quiet.
But let me imagine, aren't they out in the West? Right?
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of them in California.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm willing to bet you they came in through Mexico.
Damn. You're about to break this internet with this one though. Damn.
He came here, dropped the bomb, and left.
I'm done. He dropped a couple of them because I went and looked up what I see where he coming from with this. As far as Rosa Parks, that's really messed up. That's
That's
really messed up.
horrible.
I'm gonna let the brother get it. I'm not gonna say nothing about it, but this is damn.
And wasn't Rosa Parks in the wasn't she like
Hmm.
a what do they call them? Uh it's like the women, it's like the women that are like the Freemasons. Uh
Eastern Star
yeah, wasn't she an Eastern Star?
could have been.
Uh, I don't know. She probably hey at what I'm looking at Jesus. Yeah, he about to kill them with this one.
Oh, and I found that MIA name he was trying to figure out. It was called the Montgomery Improvement Association,
Okay.
established on December 5th, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama. I think that's what he's talking about when he says the MIA,
Yeah.
Montgomery Improvement Association. And it
Hey.
looked like Martin Luther King was over that. Rosa
Mm-hmm.
Parks,
Mm-hmm.
a hot mess.
Yeah. Yeah. These people was all I could say is, man, it be our own. It just be our own. That's
The
crazy.
own, me being, see, this is how you know that they really messed our education up. The only thing they ever showed us or told us about Rosa Parks was that she would not go to the back of the bus. That was it. And it was the end of it. And they told us to color her picture, and they hung them up all over the classroom. That was it. They didn't tell us nothing about her other affiliations. I mean, they showed a movie about her. She went to jail and all that shit, but that was it.
Oh wow. I hope he does get into this too. Yeah, this covers an extensive amount of stuff. I mean, extensive.
I'm glad he clarified, or gave his position, his opinion on whether to be a 53rd state or your own country,
53rd state.
because you're going back.
I knew we was on the right track.
I don't know why this thing is not letting DJ up here. This is crazy. He can't get his laptop connected because if he's on his laptop, maybe his camera settings. I don't know. That's crazy. But I don't know what else to say
Yeah, because I
about.
don't want to dive into the brother stuff.
Right, me
Let me just shut
neither.
that off. Let me shut that
Yeah,
off.
he's right. We shouldn't talk about it. She's right too. Aboriginal, Mrs. Aboriginal.
Mhm.
I'd rather seize at this point and say no
Yep.
more. Nope, they not letting DJ up. His vice, I think it has something to do to being in California, because California, I'm hearing, been going through some shit when it comes to the internet.
Ah man, I just know that from my understanding and everything that's been going on, like I got an Android, and my cousin, he has an iPhone. So when that whole shutdown of everything happened, my phone didn't do anything, but his iPhone was off.
During that
Yep.
blackout or whatever was going on, a lot of people was going crazy. I'm like, oh my god, they lost Facebook and lost their minds.
Yeah. No kidding.
I don't know what that was all about, or what wasn't an attack. What was it? Cyber
No,
attack?
no, that's one thing that they've been saying that was gonna come, and I keep I keep trying to tell people that when you hear someone say that they've learned from one thing, but now we have to beef up another lane just in case this happens. That's them telling you or forecasting to you that their next intention is going to be something of significance.
Mm,
And like I said, Sister Betty, I say this all the time. I only talk about the stuff that I truly know.
hmm
And I got these people on tape on that in their own words. That's my whole thing. I always let them speak for themselves. They can only speak for themselves. I can't.
Right.
And it's bad.
Hey,
And
OGK.
what's going on with it, cuz?
It is real bad.
Yeah. Because this man, I mean, I got I got I got I got videos of certain people saying some very, very, it's like, how are they not put in jail for the things that they're saying? I know they got power, I know they got big money and everything, but you're literally, the things that you're literally saying out your mouth.
Oh, they let him up. You there, DJ? They let him on, but now the microphone is messed up.
But it's crazy. It's crazy because these people are openly saying what their agenda is, openly saying it. And it's like nobody is really taking no consideration of these words that these people are saying.
Facts. I don't know how in the hell OGK, Cosmos TV, get any sleep. They was on Cuddy channel, then they went to Bab's segment, then he went live.
Hey,
I don't know how they do it.
Hey, when you want your opinions and your facts to be shown, you get up there. You make that time.
I seen your butt up there too, but at least you know how to get off and say, all right, my wife's
Yeah.
looking at me, I'm going to sleep.
Right. That'd be it. Once I get that look, I already know.
And why can't be just arguing? Oh my God. Why can't be arguing with everybody?
And you know what? To me personally, that's why I don't never really even have anything to say to him, because I already know he's looking at it from a debatable standpoint, and I'm not coming to debate you. I'm just stating my facts. You can state yours. We can agree to disagree, and we can move it on. Keep it moving.
Why can't you do that? Like, he always want to debate. I'm like, why?
Yeah. I don't have time for that. At first, I thought I wanted to do it, but I was like, you know what? No, it's no point. It's no point. You're not gonna convince anybody that you're debating against. So what's the point?
Yeah, this is a tough community. We ain't trying to be we're not Africans.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, I get it. I get it. But it's just that at some point in time, we're all getting the information best way that we can. So
right,
all we can do is dissect it all together. I mean, you can have whatever opinions about whatever. Everybody's got an opinion, but let's just stick to the information. That's why I like being around OTK, because he sticks to his information, and it's a lot easier when you just dissecting one thing and go through it thoroughly. Same thing you do, Sister Bethy.
Yeah. My thing is, I just don't understand why they're desperately fighting to be African. I don't get it.
Hey.
I mean, they're like an outrage wanting people to be. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is terrible.
Hey, I was saying it a while back.
To me, it's either they're fishing for more information and how much more evidence do we have, which I would never give them. You never give them your good jubies.
No.
That's for the court and the court only.
Because I said this numerous of times. I'm gonna continue to say it. We just have to just go through what we have to go through. Now, if you want to identify with being African, so be it, and keep on serving your slave master. That's what you want to do. That's what you feel. Hey, have at it, bro. Have at it. And just to go ahead and none your business, you're absolutely right. That's exactly who I'm talking about. And he's got about 13 other people that's doing the same damn thing. You're absolutely right.
Mm. Paid agents.
But that's another thing, Sister Bethy. I can't wait to talk to you about doing that other thing so you can actually see this news that I'll be coming across. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll love it. I think you'll love it. I
Okay.
really do. I really think you'll love it. I talked to Isness about it as well. She said she'll be more than eager to jump on board because she has the the West Coast. I have the Midwest, and then you have, the East Coast. So we'll be covering the whole 50.
Mm. Okay. We're gonna talk about it. You never sent me the email like you said you was the other day.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot going on. I'm in the process of trying to sell my house and find me another house. I need some more land.
Oh, I get it. Talk no further.
Right.
All right. Well,
Thank
Kataba
you.
Cam, you so quiet.
I think he's still driving, probably.
Oh, he probably busy. Okay. But I love y'all, and I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna shut down right now for the night, Choctaw, and just go lay back because I'm a little tired tonight. But I did do 3 hours and 15 minutes. I really did. I did 3 hours today. So I love y'all, and I'm gonna get on up out of here, y'all. I'll be around in somebody's chat room. I've been hanging real heavy in Brother Sanchez. He been covering some crazy ass topics. What's today? Wednesday. Yeah, normally he do hump day Wednesday. So I'm probably gonna scoot over there, y'all, and wait and see what Brother Sanchez gonna do.
All right.
Oh, Nanya, sweetheart. I think people have no clue how far back our people go worldwide. These alliances are long. Facts, razzle dazzle. Agreed.
Yep.
I'm a little tired today, but I love y'all, and I'm gonna get on up out of here, y'all.
Thank you, Sister Becky, as always.
Oh, you're welcome. Kataba man, I probably see you around. I be seeing you in Top Gas chat a lot.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you will.
uh oh,
I've been moving around since I got off work, so I just been doing a whole bunch of stuff.
here comes the bad boy, y'all. I'm about to let the bad boy on. You can turn it off, Bamu. Okay, go ahead, Bamu. Bamu got to say something before we get out of here. I'm gonna let him take the
Um,
floor.
as far as governance is concerned, and I thank you for all the insightful things that you share, Queen Mother.
Yes, sir.
Um, starting in our household, I wish I could remember because I don't act like I plagiarize who I first saw in the chat, whose platform it was. So forgive me if you know who you are. I can't remember your name, but you know, do your genealogy, correct your status, fix your credit, start a business. That's the simplest thing I can put in just those 4 bullet points. This is an individual issue. However, it was imposed on an entire people. So, yes, the problem is not something to be solved en masse, though it was implemented as a group. And it was targeting people specifically to steal their identity and their land. Now, these distractionary pan boo boos, European colonizers, wannabe white supremacists. Now, that is all categories of people. A white supremacist is not just a pale skinned person, nor is it just a European who's misguided. Most white supremacists are non white. Why? Because they are given white status coming to America. Have you ever seen the video from Michael Blackson? You familiar with him? The comic Michael Blackson, one of his very famous jokes. He's so black, he's under the bed black. He's 1159 black. Now, when he crowed about getting his citizenship, he blocked out his documentation that I know showed his white status as a nearly blue black looking fool. And you know Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Dinesh D'Souza, and Kamami Harris all have been extended white status or actually been called Caucasian because they are told they are Aryans. And you know who told them that, Queen Mother? Supposedly the greatest criminal in human history, Adolf Hitler. Now, how is it that people take anything from a man that everyone the world over supposedly agrees is the most heinous, evil mass murderer in the history of criminals, where the small hat community takes things from him like, are they not getting reparations to this very day, every year? And the Aryan supremacists, are they the Hindustans or the skinheads? Which one is the Aryan, Straight Smoke?
Well, if you ask me, both of them are.
And does that play into governance? I am trying to tie it to the topic about what is governing. Does not this system play into governance and control?
Yeah, that was the backbone of it.
So no matter whether we take the approach that we're going to convert the existing system, which is arguable, was created by our ancestors, was built from the ground up by us, and is being used at our expense as we speak. Or do we do what we always do, what we always have done, and build from within and go forward from there, my queen mother? I thank you for the time. I'm sure you're already tired and would like to move on with your evening.
Thanks, Ali Bamu, as well. You know, because I've said it before, and I know Sister Bethy want to get out of here. It starts at home, family first.
Facts. Just putting up some messages I see. Girly. I hope I see you in CHS. I'm gonna put in this community tab and tell this little skinny butt to get on live because I like to sit back. I do. I like to sit back and watch other
Oh,
builds. And I've been
before I forget, Queen
mm,
Mother, because the last comment I think that you just put up from Girly Girl, could you, I will suggest, consider the build of the Native Americans and the Know Nothing Party and how that transitioned the governance in the definition of American, how the European stole the identity and the governance through the Know Nothing Party. And that's at about the same time as the gold rush in the 1840s, 1850s, 20 years
wow,
after the Indian Removal Act.
the Know Nothing Party. You know, I want
That's
to go
how
back
the
and read
Native
on them.
American, that's how the Native American was created. Now, the Native American was created for those native born Europeans that Noah Webster said, would steal the identity of the American. 2 decades after he defined who the only American will ever be. And start taking notice of how many times you see Donald Trump say, I know nothing.
Oh,
Y'all have a good evening.
oh, I'm done with you. I'm so done. I'm done with him. I was like, they know nothing. They don't know where no damn mounds is at. They don't know nothing about them. They ain't built no nothing. They are not the Indians that was in. Oh my goodness, I can't. I can't. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there tonight. Like we
Yeah,
did
me
the
neither.
other night.
Me
But I
neither.
love y'all. Thank you, Ali Bamu. I'm gonna go and see if CHS is gonna be on. If not, I'm gonna watch Star Report. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
Well, we
I'm.
might be going on tonight, so we
Oh,
might
you
catch
gonna
us
go
up.
on tonight?
We
Oh,
might.
you
I
know
dropped it
OTK butt going on. He like arguing all night. Him and Cosmo Kyle, y'all be arguing all night. And Sachi, oh my God,
Yeah,
Sachi is funny as hell.
he's a straight
Him
up monster.
and Coppertone.
Papa is a nut.
You not gonna make it's certain people that you just cannot make shut up in YouTube, and that's Chief Holiday. He gonna keep talking, and he's not gonna let you win. Dane ain't gonna let you win. You is not gonna win. Um, Certified Sachi. That's why I just let him take it because you're not gonna make him be quiet. He's not gonna be quiet. He don't care. He don't care. And you know what? He's consistent because he's like that on everybody's panel he get on. He's not gonna be quiet. And if you tell him to mute his mic, he gonna mute it for like 2
2
seconds.
seconds.
That's it. Because you're not gonna make him. That's just how he is. And Cosmos, Cal is a hot mess. He ain't gonna be quiet. Never. And neither is OTK. And neither is Darvis. They're not. It's just not happening.
Man. Man.
And
But you know
Smoke,
what? You gotta love him.
Smoke is very mannerable. Oh, I love Darvis. Darvis is funny as hell. Darvis is funny. Smoke is mannerable because he'll say, okay, he'll mute his mic up. No saying that. But the ones that I mentioned, you're not going to ever make Certified Sachi be quiet.
Nope.
And the same thing for Ali Baba Haru. Not happening. This is not happening. And don't forget Brown Wolf. Brown Wolf. He's not gonna be quiet either. So it is what it is.
I'm about to go and broil this yard bird. Make some jasmine rice with some vegetables.
What you making with it?
Jasmine rice.
And what else?
Just some vegetables, you know.
I love jasmine rice. It smells so good.
That's the only rice I can eat.
Really?
That's the only rice I trust.
I like jasmine, but my first choice is Carolina rice.
Well,
I love
yeah.
Carolina rice. I mastered how to make that rice. My grandmother, thanks to her. I do not like Uncle Ben's rice. It's nasty.
It ain't no.
I don't care who made it. I don't care who made it. It tastes nasty.
And just for everybody out there, if you make rice, rinse it off first and get the extra starch off of it before you start cooking it.
Yeah, because that is nasty at the end of the day.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Sister
y'all
Pat.
loves. You're welcome. I'll see y'all over on OTK channel. I'm out. Be cool, people.